What is up, everybody? It is Thursday night, and we are back live, like always. Why am I getting an echo? I'm getting an echo. Echo, echo, echo. Hello, hello, hello.
I don't hear
Okay,
anything.
we're good. All right. Thought I had an echo there for a second. Welcome back to the last, basically Thursday of May, right? When's the 31st? Next Wednesday. So it is the last Thursday of May.
Yeah.
Going into a 3-day weekend as well. I think for most people, I don't know. I don't have to work Monday. I don't know if you guys have to work Monday. I don't think you do. So
I'm off Monday, but
yeah,
he's got to work Monday. So
it's like who does work on Monday? I feel like it's the people that work at the auto dealerships because there's always a Memorial Day sale, and then people that work like in the department stores because always like TJ Maxx Memorial Day sale or one of the department stores have something going on. Back in those like kid, it was like J.C. Penney and Sears and all of them. Neither of them you hear about much anymore nowadays. I don't know if they're still in business. Like you have the Sears outlets. Like who works at the outlet? That's just like the Sears stuff we couldn't sell when we were open. So here's the reject stuff if you guys want to come buy it. That's how the Sears outlet stores work.
we still have a J.C. Penney's, but we don't have the Sears any longer.
Yeah. I mean, once the mall went down, it's like, where do you put a Penny's? You cannot put a J.C. Penney by itself. It has to be part of a mall.
Right.
So if you don't have the mall, how can you have the J.C. Penney?
True.
It just doesn't work that way.
You go
know?
hand in hand.
Yeah. It's like you never see a J.C. Penney standing by itself. Like, oh, it's a J.C. Penney over here, right next to the Starbucks.
Yeah. Now that you say that, I don't think I've ever seen one by itself.
It's like you need that mall traffic to succeed. That is part of the strategic plan of a J.C. Penney if you don't have it. Yeah. But welcome back and away from mall talks. You know, I'm going to have to watch Mall Rats this weekend just to go back to my Gen X days.
Oh, Mall Rats. There you go.
Yeah. Every Thursday night, if you're new to the channel, we come in, we kick some beers. I have Todd, I have Mal, and Perfectly Me Crafts. Make sure to check her out on YouTube. And I don't know if Mal, if you're streaming right now on your end, that you're sharing it out there as well.
Oh,
then that way, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Todd's like my Flavor Flav. He's just my veteran. He's just hanging out. Doesn't really have it out there yet, but he's been like for years. He's just been hanging around at the hype man, you know.
I'm like Ed McMahon, you know. I just stand there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Johnny.
Right, Johnny. Right, Johnny. Ha ha ha. You're right, Johnny. Yeah. So now we got millennials saying, "Who the hell was Johnny Carter? Who was this Ed McMahon guy?"
Like, who are you talking about? Yeah.
So he did the Pulitzer Prize thing back in. What's the Pulitzer Prize? Like, yeah. So like the old people talking about this guy, I have no idea who he is, but yeah. But no,
the housing sweepstakes or whatever. What was
the housing.
Is that what it was called?
But now Steve Harvey does it. Which
he does.
Yeah, Steve Harvey does it now. But then again, if Steve Harvey shows up, you're like, "Are you sure, Steve? Did you read the envelope for sure? Am I really a winner? I don't want to get excited for no reason.
Yeah,
I'm
right,
not the winner. I got it." It's like they got to spot check Steve Harvey when he comes to the sweepstakes winners.
Yeah, it's right house, right street. What are you doing here?
Yeah. So sorry, it was across the street. The numbers were switched. Oh, good old Steve Harvey. I don't think he'll ever live that part down. That was just
no, probably not.
No. Although technically, I think it wasn't his fault. I think there was a mix-up from the people in the back, but of course, they never accepted any responsibility to let Steve go and get it. And then afterwards, they put out a release, but nobody ever goes back and reads a release. It's like when a news story screws up, and they come back, we did a release of what actually happened, like on page 30 of the 30-page newspaper. Like nobody's going to read that far into it to ever see that you screwed up on stuff. So
yeah,
it is what it is. But welcome to everyone in the house and to the people there in the chat. As usual, great to have you. You got Donner in the house. Cheers, Donner.
What's up, Donner?
Always great to see you, my friend. And go ahead and check out Donner for some whiskey. And my Friday, don't go back to work till Tuesday. Well, that's the way you actually do it. Oh, shoot. Surprise. Just popped on in. Oh, it's about to get crazy up here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It's about to get crazy. Yeah. I got to think. So whenever Shannon actually shows up, I'm just going to go ahead and hit. Oh, shit. Whenever
put their walk-up music for wrestling.
Yeah. Whenever Shannon hits the house and everything. So yeah. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good.
Yeah.
How about you?
Doing all right. Ready for the weekend. It's been a long week, and yeah, had to It was funny at work today. Decided to get some stuff off my chest, which is always good. I'm lucky to be in a company where I can express myself, get stuff off the chest, and it's all
Aw.
taken as not like someone bitching, but basically giving good feedback and stuff. But it was just like, I'm ready to go Terry Tate. Whenever you call the number, I'll start tackling some people around here. Just let me know. I've got the jersey. I'll break it out. Go back to Cincinnati for a tackling tour. So yeah. Oh, let me see. JT says, "What's the shit, my friends? What's up, JT in the house?" And I got PA in the house as well. Just went to JC Penney's yesterday, and it was at a mall. It had to be part of a mall. You can't have a JC Penney's as a standalone.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you do that, you're into a Kia battleground at that point. And Kia's not going to put up with it. So
That's
like,
right. Yeah.
we're the only store that should be in the mall that's not in the mall.
I don't know if I agree with that.
You don't think so? I think that's the
Yeah.
size of one of the anchor
It
stores.
is about the size of a mall by itself.
Honestly, I've never been in IKEA. I just know when you go in there, they set it up in a way where you have to go through everything unless you know the shortcuts.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they pick that shortcut, but they move you down the path to check out everything before you leave.
Well, that's like the top floor is like a show, like it's got everything on display. And my friend wanted me to go there, so I went with her, and I'm like, and they have like little pads of paper. You write stuff down that you want, and then you take it downstairs, and then you find it. But you can skip the whole entire first part and just go downstairs, and everything's
get what you
out.
want,
You can get what you want.
Yeah.
It's like that's a scam up there because you're
Wasn't
going.
all IKEA scam kind of like the?
Well, they are, but they've got some really good stuff too.
It's adult Legos is what
That
it is.
really is.
Yeah, I've heard like some of the stuff you buy there, you have to have like an engineering degree to put together when you get it
We
home.
bought a dresser there, and I swear I watched all the Colts game that started at 1:00 and up until halftime of the second game before I was done with it.
That's a
Well,
nice
she's
dress.
gonna get cranky about this, but our bookshelf was from IKEA, and he has an engineering degree, and I'm the one that put that stuff together. I'll tell you what.
To be honest, though, for directions with no words, the best directions I've ever seen.
Yeah. So they're really good directions, but you got to put the work in.
But you got to put the work in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm awful at putting stuff together. They'd probably still be sitting in there half put together.
Aren't the prices pretty good though?
Oh
as
yeah,
well?
they're really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like going to a grocery store with good deals, but you got to make your
Which
own
makes
batch.
sense. You're doing
Yeah.
all the, right at the cost of the
Yeah.
product is the labor.
Yeah.
You know, so.
They don't use children factories, I guess. So yeah. I mean, this many days since any children have been hurt. So yeah. Paul said, "You're my Jazzy Jeff." Yeah, I'll keep you up to speed if I do, Paul, for sure. Not sure if I have people up tonight or not. There's going to be some changes I'm going to be talking about here, probably upcoming in a little bit. So we'll see. Beer Professor, what's up? What is up, Jimmy?
Hey.
Happy Memorial Day weekend to you, my friend.
No, he's going to be grilling some stuff this weekend.
Oh
yeah.
If you guys haven't checked out Cuff and stuff, check him out. He's got good stuff. And I actually got some stuff queued up. I just have to watch it. Just finding time to be able to watch the videos is always the hard
Oh my
thing.
gosh. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah. Today, it's like, and well, the thing is that makes it hard too is like when I watch videos, I try to comment on the videos.
I know.
So it's like hard for me to do that when I'm like working or making videos. And then a lot of times if I'm watching them when I'm hitting the treadmill working out, I'll just like put emojis on there because I can't sit there and type the whole thing when I'm like trying to catch my breath. So just
The
doesn't always
breathing
work out
moves
that
the
way.
finger, and you can't hit the right letters.
Yeah. Or if I'm sitting here working instead of TV, I just flipped over to the YouTube channel and I watch videos. But all I can do is give it a thumbs up, so people don't know I'm watching their videos. So it's kind of in that way. But I am watching. So, but Jimmy's got some great stuff, especially if you have an air fryer. Jimmy does some pretty cool stuff with air fryers on there too, I think. So you don't have to be grilling out. Jimmy's got a whole bunch of stuff you could be enjoying over there. Gilbert in the house. Cheers, my friend. Always great to see you, brother. I know you got something good you're probably queuing up. That's Lyle Mallory. You worked on a 50-50.
Whatever. 50-50, nothing. Oh my
Stu,
gosh.
Stu, remember, that's just what you tell the judge. We're in a 50-50. 50-50,
Uh-huh.
right? Half and half. Oh, Jeannie, Porsche,
Hey,
hi,
hi,
Mallard.
how are you?
There you go. It was a Genie Porsche because they said between a Porsche and a Porsche. Well, actually, a Porsche has an S in it, right? Porsche has an S in it. So, but if you ever see a Porsche or a Porsche, they say the people that actually have the money call it a Porsche, and the ones that don't call it a Porsche. I don't know. I'm not going to have one. I'm just saying that's what I was told before.
I call it a shiny, and it's out of reach for me. That's a shiny thing that I don't get to have.
Yeah.
It's shiny.
Some people call it a masculine question, I guess. Is there something you're compensating for there with that? I don't know. That's what some people say. That's just what some people say.
Some people say a lot of things.
Some people do say a lot of things. And I still got to, speaking of cars, I still got to watch that video that you guys sent me. Apparently, in the Ford truck, like apparently Ford, people are upset with Ford now with the whole pride thing, which.
Oh, I thought it was the women's one.
Is it a woman for the Ford? It is a woman. I'm sorry.
Day,
it is women. It is women. Yeah. It's always either women or pride nowadays.
Yeah.
That people are getting upset over. So Target just had to pull their stuff. I don't know if you saw that for pride.
Women, right? Yeah.
They pulled stuff for pride because I guess people were like going crazy on employees there. So they pulled it. They said for safety. It's interesting. Just interesting stuff taking place right now.
I showed her that Mad Dog 2020 video you sent me. That was freaking hilarious.
I've never related to a video more in my life.
That was a good one. I mean, you can pull that up on here and share that tonight.
Yeah.
But that was Gen X wisdom for sure. She was right dead on. She tried to tell the youngsters, you don't want to mess around with that.
Don't even try. Yeah.
That was so good. That was so good.
Yeah, I saw another one too, and the person was talking about stuff growing up, drinking and different things, and was going through the whole Tab and Crystal Pepsi and all that kind of stuff. And then they got into the Boone's Farm, they got into the Mad Dog, they got into all that stuff. And it was like, yeah, that's how drinking was back in the day. The things we went through. Let's see. Cheers, JT. Didn't realize Crafty is a regular now. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Mal is actually part of the show now. So, as well. And it's kind of a thing
he's a glutton for punishment is what it is. They're keeping me around. He's a glutton for punishment.
I wanted to get, a female side of beer as well. So I invited Mal to become a participant in the show. I mean, Shannon's a female and she pops on.
Yeah,
but
I'm not here for the beer.
Yeah, Mal's invested into the beer side as well. So that makes it nice.
Of which, can we hop in? Or?
I'm not stopping you. I'm not stopping you, sister. Go ahead, crack it open.
All right.
Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. What are you pouring?
But wait, first I'm pouring it into my lovely Rod J BeerVentures glassware here for everybody to see how beautiful this is.
Yeah, it's coming in a little blurry, but it still looks good.
I think being outside.
So today I'm having what is called, Brewer's Triangle. This is a collaboration with Maplewood Brewing, Metropolitan Brewing, and Ravinia Brewing Company. They're all they're all walking distance from each other downtown in Logan Square area. But it's a dry hopped Helles. Oh yeah. So between
I like lager when it's. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. It's just dry hopped Helles, which you don't hear about a dry hopped one that often, and I think they pulled this one off pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I like a lager that's dry hop because I like that hoppy feel on it. That's why I used to like the.
They didn't go like juicy or grapefruity or anything. It's almost like not piney, but like wooden hops. I don't know what they used. It doesn't say on the can, so I'm not sure which ones they used, but it comes across very, very drying on the front, which I kind of like a dry Helles anyway. So this just adds to that dryness, and I think they did a really nice job.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Very nice. Very nice. What are you drinking, Todd?
So I picked this one up today. They had another drop of two or three cans, so I picked one up. This is Phase 3 Pixel Density IPA, and it just says Citra on it. So assuming it's all Citra hops.
Citra hop. Okay, yeah, Citra.
8.5% ABV. And
nice.
there you go. Yeah, that's all it has. It doesn't have anything else on it, so that's it.
I live 10 minutes from them.
Oh.
Well, yeah, we just started seeing them. Well, when I had them on, I guess maybe a month or so, 6 weeks ago. I don't know. So it's been periodic. They've dropped a couple
Pixel Density is one of their flagships, so it's quite good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I picked up the last time. They were good.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you got, Shannon? What are you drinking?
I can never do that. There we go. This one, right?
Shannon's got a Shannon's got a little bush. That wouldn't sound right. I guess I did say it. So.
So that was also what it's called. Oh shit!
That's gonna be Shannon's theme music, I think, from now on.
Little bush.
No,
shit! Oh shit! Yeah.
It's gonna be her entrance music and her theme music, yeah. And I am going to actually drink another one of these, which is the Slushy XL.
Ooh, so
Nice.
Sandy's Candies. Not to be confused with Stacy's Box, with Sandy's Candies. So, which I did go back and I checked it. So I got the 4-pack of each of these for $26.99. So basically $27. So you're looking at it like $6.75 a can. Overpriced. This one overpriced. The other one, the Nuggets, which I'll drink here in a bit, slightly overpriced compared to I could have got like other half of $5 a can.
But to be fair,
or up to $6 a can.
But to be fair, when I'm probably about singles, but I think both of these 4-packs of phase 3 ones were like $24.99 or $25.99 or something like that. So
that was lower than this as well.
So that's but I'm saying no, that's not outrageous. Not for $4.50 it is probably, but
I look at it if I would have got this versus if I would have got an Imprint Smoothie 4-pack.
Oh yeah.
Imprint would have been a better value for the deal.
Oh, for sure.
Sure.
And I'm not so sure that they're
I
probably better anyway.
Yeah, and I don't hate the beer. It's just I think when I look back on it, I'm like, yeah, it's probably overvalued for the price you pay for it.
But I bought singles of each. So I paid $6 something for one and $5 something for the other one. So
yeah,
that's kind of the going price of these days, it seems, for pretty much across the board of everything.
Yeah.
They're a little cheaper here, but not by much. So not the smoothie, the slushy ones though. Those are way more expensive here.
Yeah, they just started getting them here.
I don't even see them that often here anymore. I just saw them a couple times and that's it.
Yeah.
What's
that?
that?
Like I said,
smoothie. What you've had before that was really good. It was a banana something or another. I can't remember what it was, but it was.
Imprint's pretty solid.
No more, so I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't like to have things I can't have. Like I don't like to taste of something and then I can't have it anymore.
So you're saying it's better to? What's the old saying?
It's
Is
not
it better
the love
to
to
love
than
to love at all, right? So you'd rather not love at all if you can't
Exactly.
have it.
Exactly.
Like, don't even bring it over here if I can't keep getting it.
Yep.
I got you.
Exactly.
I got you.
It's less painful that way.
Jimmy said, if you didn't experience Mad Dog, you lived a sheltered life. I mean, some might say protected life, but sheltered.
Exactly.
safer, healthier.
Yeah. Good old Mad Dog. Q loves the phase 3.
Yeah, they're good. They're tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So with StreamYard now, you can do more than one streaming. So whoever has the host of it can set it up for people to come on. You can stream up to like 6 guest streams. So if I had 6 people on here with channels, they could all stream out to their channel and stuff.
That's what
So
I
if I
should
do
do.
bring Paul up, Paul can actually stream out to his channel.
I should be streaming to my channel just to see out of curiosity if it draws anybody in.
I will say though,
And where will they
Chew and I-
find your channel?
Hey, I've got like 30. I got 30 subscribers, so.
I will say though,
Good
Chew
question.
and I
I've got 30 subscribers.
Chew and I figured out though that if someone is watching on our channel and they try to comment, no one sees their comment, and so no one's talking over there.
Oh, because they see it on your channel.
Yeah, they see
And
them.
The only people watching on your channel have to be watching it to comment on it.
Yeah, but they comment on my channel, and nobody's there to answer them. Like, so Chew is actually like, he has one thing on your channel, one thing on my channel, and he's answering comments.
I don't think it. I can see your comments.
Other people write on his channel.
Wait, say that again, Chew?
We can see, you can see what I write,
Yeah,
but I can't see what they write on his channel.
on his channel.
He can
Okay.
see, but he
puts
can.
it up on the screen, you know?
Yeah, like I can see Chew's comment on your channel because Chew on your channel
Yeah.
said I love Phase 3.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see
Yeah.
where there's the little link there above
Yeah.
the comments. Okay, that makes
but
sense.
then on my,
then.
but when I pull it up, it looks like it's just on my channel. So yeah,
Okay.
that's our. I don't even know what is Chew now. Chew's like our. Well, he's your guy to get you the beers. I know that. So it's kind of like he's your gopher in
He's
that.
the go-getter.
regard.
Yeah,
He's the
the
yeah.
gopher.
Yeah.
He's the runner.
She's going to
He's
be.
my maitre d'.
We'll give Chew the intern title.
He's a producer. He's like what? Or I don't know.
But when he does mouse stuff, he is the producer or director when he
Yeah.
does mouse stuff.
I've seen him in action.
To an extent.
To an extent.
It depends on
Yeah.
the videos. Like, if it's one of the craft videos, he does not produce, direct, or he's the camera guy for those. Like,
Okay.
I do all the editing on those.
Yeah.
A lot of the full-length episodes, I was doing all of the editing at first. He stepped up and started helping on some of those. But the Tuesdays videos, like the goofy ones, he handles, like, I'm just an actor, and he handles the rest. And then he handles all the 60-second sips, and we share on the 5-minute flights. We'll take turns on those. But overall,
Yeah, that's
like,
what I
we
saw.
do split it up pretty well.
Yeah. Big Daddy's in the house. Cheers. He's drinking a
Ooh,
fresh
Pseudo
pseudo
Sue.
Sue.
That's a good one.
Little toppling Goliath action. I feel like, is that one of the beers that you can say at this point is overrated, or is it still whole water? Do you think it's still as solid, or do you think it's kind of now to an overrated point?
I still think it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I'll be
Personally.
entirely honest. I'm not a hop head, and that one did not sit well for me the first time I had it.
Mm-hmm.
I can recognize that it is a good IPA in and of itself. It was just not really my bag.
Gotcha.
So-
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I know it has standing power, obviously, because it's still around. So, you know.
Well, yeah. So is Bush, as Shannon has showed too. So.
What?
With
I like
peach,
talking about your bush.
Right. God, now I'm gonna have to get rid of it.
I mean, it is peachy.
Okay.
A couple weeks ago, we got the seismic Sue from Top and Goliath in, which I
Yeah.
haven't had, so I don't know how that one is, but
I think it's still pretty good. I think it's, for me, it's kind of in between. Like, I don't yearn to have a pseudo Sue. When I do have it, I enjoy it. I think it's still pretty solid, but it's kind of like one of those ones that got a name built up over the last however many years that is kind of, for people that can't get it, it's definitely on that search list, right? Like, you definitely want to try it and stuff. But if I put that like versus like the High Life, I think it's definitely at a higher level than what High Life is from Cigar City. I felt like when I had that, it was definitely overrated for where it actually was compared to what people were saying about it.
now for me, because it's, I don't know, hit and miss on the types of beers that we get, Top and Goliath is always we get everything from them, and it's always fresh within a couple weeks off the when it's packaged. And we get them all the time here, so I like it.
Yeah.
They're one of the better breweries that we actually get on a regular basis all the time. So I don't know what happened to the liquor stores. Well, I know what happened. He sold it, but
Yeah.
the new guy's coming in, he gets whatever he wants. I guess I don't know. I don't understand his logic behind it.
He's probably just going with whatever distributors are telling him.
I guess.
Not all those guys know beer as well, that's for sure. Henderson Brewing Power Play Light Lager, son? Gilbert, I'm shocked. You're drinking a light beer? That's not like you. And hopefully you got some whiskey with it, Gilbert. You know, you just drinking a light lager. Are you okay? Do you have a fever? Are you not feeling well tonight? Like, what's going on up there in Canada? You're not supposed to drink light beers. Well, but we really pay over 20 a 4-pack for the 420.
In general,
Yeah.
the 420 is always over 20. I think the last time I bought a 4-pack,
450.
450. Sorry, I
Yeah.
think the last time I bought one of those was 37 for the 4-pack. But there's a couple
37.
There's a
What
couple
was
from
it?
Liquid
Like
Love that was like 24, but it's rare for
Yeah.
us to spend more than 20 for a 4-pack by us.
Yeah.
The one that we spent it on, it was
It's like an anniversary
peanut
thing or
butter
something.
jam one. It was like a peanut butter jelly one. So
Ooh, that
Yeah.
sounds good.
They did have a couple of the unicorn farts today.
Which one did they have there? Was it the
They had
After
they had
dark?
2 of them. Yeah, I think they had the dark one and the regular one.
okay? Could have
And
done
I
a back.
feel like there was a third one too. I feel like it was like a purplish looking can, but I can't swear to that.
Did they have that on tap at Pearl Street?
Yeah, that was the one I had the glitter. in.
Yeah, Donnie showed me.
Yeah.
That one was so pretty.
But they said solid with the pseudo. You could add a battle of the unicorn site if you got both of those. I mean, unicorn fights. Glitter everywhere. Glitter's been spilled, my friends.
well, Pipeworks by us does the unicorn versus or ninja versus unicorn beer, which
Yeah.
is super fun too.
That's a good beer. Yeah, we got that
Oh,
from
it
Big
is.
Daddy.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Pouring one out for the Oilers, Jets, and especially the Leafs. So you're gonna be pouring out a lot, JD. Especially for the Jets.
Hey, that's alcohol abuse. You better be drinking those.
Team. Cheers, Emerson in the house. Sing some says. We're gonna try. We'll try to drink some stuff here. Freshness is very important with Sue. Yeah. Wait a minute. We talking about the beer? Or we talking about Sue?
That's what they said.
Yeah. Freshness is important. I never considered buying any beer made by 450 Brewing. Really? Just not a fan of 450, JT? What's that all
I just
about,
had
my
to
friend?
try it. I had to try it. I've never had it, and I had to try it.
No, when I saw they had them, I definitely was like,
Yeah.
it was the last 2 4-packs, so I went in and grabbed them. And it's just, I didn't know what I was going to get out of them, and I'm not hating them. I'm just thinking, value-wise, now that I've had them versus other things I've had, yeah, it's definitely over. I say it's overpriced, but again, it all depends on the cost and everything being involved. Obviously, these type of beers, you're putting more of the fruit and kind of stuff like that in when you're making these type of things. So Urban Artifact in Cincinnati was big for that because they were using actual fruit. So you would pay more for like a 6-pack of their stuff. You were probably paying anywhere from maybe 15 up to maybe 20, depending on what it was. But it was worth it, and you knew why I was going into it. So it can be a beer that costs more than the others, as long as it delivers. I just think for the taste you're getting out of it, this one versus Imprint will give you a better value. The Nugs, which is the other one I have here, the Funkin' Nugs, their Nugget series, that's not that much of a differentiator for me. I think that one you can get away with charging what they're charging on that and be okay and enjoy it. So
I still find it weird that the state that they brew in, you can't even get distribution in.
yeah.
Like I don't.
Well,
The only reason I think they probably aren't doing it is to keep people coming and buying, for their releases every 3 weeks or whatever it is, and spending $500 every time they go.
PR move.
Yeah,
yeah,
and I'm
it's their ploy.
sure it is, but
Yeah, like I think 450 North, in my opinion, like I think they're overrated. Like
Mm.
if I want a smoothie, I'm gonna go get a smoothie. Like if I'm going to get a beer that costs that much money, I want it to have more than like 2 or 3% alcohol in it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
Which supposedly it does now.
Well, they are now.
Are they?
But they're still less than 6.
Well, that's. I mean, I could.
But they're still like
yeah,
they're like 5.2 or 3 now.
Yeah, I mean,
4
that's,
to 8 or whatever.
that's
it is.
reasonable.
Yeah.
That's reasonable.
It's not like it was when they were trying to say they were 12% and it was actually
Right.
only 2%.
Yeah,
So
people are like, I should be knocked down by now, but I'm not. Yeah.
So one of the breweries up by me, Liquid Love Brewing Company,
Mhm.
they specialize in smoothie sours. They have a sour base and they use fresh fruits and fresh fruit puree and everything. And the smoothie sours are really good. It tastes like you're drinking a smoothie, but they're like 5.6%, something like that. They are a little pricey for the 4-pack. I think it's like 18, 19-ish for the 4-pack, but they're so good. They're so tasty. It's
Do
terrible.
they like fill you up a whole bunch though? Because it's like got.
They are a little filling because they are thicker. Like they
Right.
have that texture of a smoothie kind of, but I mean, and if they don't shake the kegs well enough, well, you get like applesauce in your beer almost. It's kind of funny. But yeah, they're so tasty though. They had like
So
a tamarind. They had a tamarind mango one. They have like a pina colada cherry one. They have
Ooh.
coconut blueberry right now. The Coca Blue Kiss. Oh my gosh, it's
I
heaven
like pina
up.
colada.
Oh, they're so good though. And actually, Phase 3 has some smoothie sours that are quite good too. Phase 3 does a couple that are just phenomenal, and theirs are really thick as well. So I like
Our
when they
Lady,
use the
that-
fresh fruit.
Our Lady that we go to, and we took you and Chew to when you all were down here. Our Lady
Loved it.
The last couple of sours they've made, and they've got one on tap currently right now, is really good. They've done a really good job with those. And they don't typically have sours very often, but when they do, they've done a really good job on them. Their beers are getting better over the last several years. They've
I
come
wish
a long
they'd bring
way.
back Knocking on Heaven's Door though.
Yeah, they're getting ready to.
Are they?
Yeah, it's ready
I
to
think
go.
I got
It's
to
in the
have
tank.
that one. I liked that a lot.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one or the that one is my favorite, and then I like I like the the 5 foot nothing or 5 foot something.
Oh yeah,
The
the
five
blind
foot-
ale.
Yeah, the 5
Yeah.
foot. They have a 5 foot nothing, but I like the 5 foot something. I think it is.
Yeah, 5 foot something.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, that was good too.
But I've been a Bud Light girl here recently. There, I've been getting Bud Lights. So.
Well, you go back to your Miller Lite because they got a backlash against them now too.
Oh, they do. What they do? What they do?
They made a. Oh, you were here last week, weren't you? We did a women ad.
Yeah, but I was pretty drunk.
Oh yeah.
I know it's hard to believe, but
Oh, the honesty, you gotta love it. So
tell me how you really feel.
yeah.
she probably
Well,
doesn't even get on here for
Hey,
the
I
most
remember
part,
we
but no.
stayed on here
Yeah.
till 1 o'clock
Yeah,
in
it
the
was-
morning,
it
and I
was
had to
late.
get up and go to work at 6:30 the next
You're right.
morning.
Oh, because me and Todd never have to do that.
Not at 6:30.
Well, no, not that early, but
Yeah, and plus I woke up. I felt like I was still drunk.
Probably was.
yeah.
Anyway, what were we saying?
You grab yourself a sausage egg McMuffin and a Coke from McDonald's, you'd be good to go.
Yeah, I
Kick it
don't
right
have
over.
enough to get that.
Realize that time to get to work on time. 5 minutes from our house.
What did Miller Lite do?
They had it was like 2 months ago where they had the women ad that was promoting women in brewing and basically taking women's stuff with the what they saw as the sexist type stuff and recycling it into mulch and stuff for the hop farmers and donating the money into women brewing and stuff like that. And it's not as big a backlash as like Bud Lights went through, which I'm going to talk about Bud Light here and again in a second, but because they're on a whole different level. They're just like falling apart. I mean, it's just like just I don't even know how you get past it. It's just like just walk away. Don't even say anything. Just ignore
Right.
it. Like
Someone
just
else
act
will
like
do it.
nothing ever happened, and maybe you could just skip by.
That would be the
point.
best. That
Yeah.
would probably be the best thing, actually.
But yeah,
Wait
so
for someone else to screw up more
Yeah,
to take the
Exactly.
attention away.
yeah. Don't keep
Keep
screwing
drawing.
up. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Or drawing it to
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
but yeah, so it was just that. But like some people were bothered by it, and some people were taking it more literal than what it actually was as far as the idea behind it. It was just, it's just people are just crazy at this point, just on some stuff. It's just like
I do remember that video.
yeah. But Gilbert had these light lockers for the third round, but the Leafs prefer golf, so they're out. Yeah, well, here some of the NBA teams prefer fishing, so yeah, we try to get out of there. And Big Daddy said, "I'm not familiar with 450, but sounds similar to Energy City flavors." Now, Mal, you're up there. Do they do like some stuff like 450?
I'm not as familiar with Energy City. They're not ones that I've delved into deep, so unfortunately, I don't have a reference on that one.
Again, that was a couple of drops we've had. I thought Energy City was better than 450, honestly.
Okay. So you've had some of their stuff too, then? Well, we both. What I had was the peanut butter one that Big Daddy sent us, which was one of the better peanut butter beers I think I've had out there from anybody. Yeah, it was pretty solid.
Me want to actually try some of this stuff.
You should. You
should.
Get out of your comfort zone.
Get out of your peach. Oh, get out of your bush.
Get out of your peach bush. Yeah.
Leave my bush behind.
I was gonna say cut that bush back, but that would be.
Yeah. No. I'm an all or nothing kind of gal.
Well, since I mentioned Bud Light, you might as well jump over to a little bit of the beer news. So obviously this week was actually kind of light because CBC took place. And I think a lot of the beer writers that usually write a lot of pieces were there at the conference, coming off the conference. So it wasn't a total amount of a lot of beer news out there. There were a few things here and there. A lot of your major type labels had stuff out there, but not like a lot of the independents as much. So I mentioned Bud Light a second ago. So Bud Light is just a whole funny type thing because we talked a few weeks ago where Bud Light was actually giving anybody that was an employee of a distributor they worked with, every employee could get a free case of Bud Light. Trying to bring back goodwill, right? So if you worked for a distributor, you just got it. Doesn't matter what you did. Custodian, secretary, truck driver. If you worked for that distributor, you got a free Bud Light. Still, apparently, wasn't enough. So now they said, look, to the customers, we'll give you up to $15 back with the purchase of a 15-pack or larger of Bud Light, Bud Select, or Bud Select 55 through Memorial Day, May 31st. You just go online, show you and do a thing there and put your proof of purchase picture, and we'll send you $15 back. They're trying to buy people back into them because they look weak now, right? So now it's just like, dude, what are you guys even trying to do here?
Yes.
Like,
if you're going to stand up for it, stand up for it. Yeah, don't back down.
So now they have hits coming from the people that were boycotting them. Plus, they got hits coming from some of the LGBT community because they're like, "Oh, you're not with us, but you said you were with us." They just got knocked off of something. I think there was a thing where they have companies rated that are LGBTQ positive or whatever, like they got knocked down on that because it's just like a bunch of, it's just like at this point just walk away. Just don't even say anything. And I thought before, like I was saying, I think it was last week or the week before, it's not like it was bad as New Coke, right? Yeah, this is definitely getting as bad as when New Coke when they brought that out.
No,
like
it's getting to clear Coke level. That's where it's getting, is clear Coke level.
Awful.
Yeah.
Was that Coke or Pepsi?
That was Pepsi. It did clear Pepsi,
was it Pepsi? Yeah. Well, either way, they're getting to that level right now. And oh no, stop.
Yeah.
Stop, sweetie. Shut up. Just shut up, darling. You can't say another word. There is nothing you can do to fix this. Just hope something worse comes along.
Exactly. It will.
You just have to walk away. You just like don't even say anything anymore. It's kind of like the Miller Lite right now, the backlash. They're not saying anything about it. They're just like, let it die out. Someone else will come out and do something.
No.
Come on. In America, our attention spans don't last long.
Exactly.
So unless you keep talking about it, we'll forget about it at some point.
Right.
We just will. That's just how we roll. But you just making it worse and worse.
Something else to bitch about. That's what it'll be.
Yeah, they made a bad situation worse by doing that. They look, Now they kind of, because I'm like, I don't really like that, but I mean, I'm not even,
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like, yeah, if you're gonna stand for something, stand for it and have some pride about it. Like, be proud of it. Don't
Yeah.
like waver and. I mean, yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
as
like
much
it's
as
making.
as much as we're saying they're weak, and as much as I'm like, oh my gosh, why? I know
Right.
that Choose downstairs going, oh shit, how do I get $15 off my Bud Light now?
Right,
Like,
yeah,
I
it's
know
hard for
that's
some
what he's
people,
doing right
yeah.
now. He's like, hey, I get money
Right,
off.
yeah.
Heck yeah, and he's just gonna go
Right,
for it
yeah.
because he
Yeah.
doesn't care about any of the other stuff. He's like, hey, money,
Right,
So yeah,
Which
Yeah.
is like, I don't know how much a 15 pack of Bud Light would even be. Would it be
about
$15?
$15.
You think it would be? Because I'm thinking it was 6 pack. I think it's like 6 or something, right? So 12, I guess you would be around 15 or so. Yeah.
A Bud Light.
Yeah.
I just bought her a case today for $18 for a case.
So you-
Show your receipt.
so
can
your
get
receipt, you get
15
15 back
You get
now.
it for $3.
No, I don't want it.
Go online. Todd's like,
Nope.
Nope. No. Look at Todd. Todd. He's such a gentleman. He's like, all right, go for it.
I'm very comfortable taking advantage of a company's stupidity.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
really okay with that because it's not a person. I'm fine with taking advantage of a company's stupidity.
Right, yeah.
I think I can turn that into some better beer. Is what I was thinking.
I mean, you do you.
I mean, if you got the 15 back, that's 3 FanDuel bets. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, you get the 15 back and you can
Dude,
buy
one good one.
Or
Right.
one good one, right?
the 15 back. You can buy a 4-pack of something tasty. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, I'm not
You can buy-
sad there.
You could buy 2 cans of 450.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
so that's where they find themselves at this point, which is kind of incredible. Also, the other big news that kind of came out, which I'm of course now in Maryland, Utica's FX is buying Matt Bruin is buying Flying Dog out of Frederick, Maryland.
Oh.
So the Flying Dog franchise is now going to go under FX, which Matt Bruin also owns Saranac and another one. I can't remember which one it is, but I think they also own that black and tan jug you see sometimes at the liquor store. It's like black and tan
Yeah.
mud something, right? Mud
But-
beer.
I'm gonna say like mudslide, but that's not it. That's a
Yeah, it's something mud something. It's like they own that as well. But they're going to have the Flying Dog line, and that'll
Are
be
they gonna
interesting.
keep Flying Dog as the name though, or no?
It'll still be Flying Dog, and they're still going to have beer like down through Maryland where they're based here, but they are going to cease operations in Maryland. Everything will be brewed out of New York now for that line.
That's an amazing.
Flying Dog.
You can get Flying Dog
Yeah.
beer.
Now here's the thing with like Flying
They
Dog.
have- I'm sorry, Rod.
No, I was gonna say with Flying Dog, the interesting thing with them is they've come under scrutiny a lot of times because of their labels.
Oh,
as
yeah.
far as some of the stuff they do for inventory, but they didn't really say anything about them. They just put them out there. Like they had one case where they sued. It was either North Carolina or South Carolina. It was one of the distributors. They got it down there, but the store wouldn't do it. It was like they took them to court because they said they didn't want that artwork in there, but they ended up winning to have their beer put there as freedom of expression under the art they were doing. But they are one of the breweries that were kind of like, they believe in the freedom of speech type thing.
Well,
That's
they
what
had,
the names of some
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
well, they had
Don't
Raging
like
Bitch.
what it says.
They had
Yeah, they
Raging
still do.
Bitch,
Mm-hmm.
which was always funny for Chew to order a Raging Bitch, and he says, "Not the one I already have." And he'd point to me. And
Doggy
oh,
style.
they had one called Pearl Necklace as well.
They still
Yeah.
have that. Yeah, that's the oyster. That's the
Come
oyster. That's the oyster stout. Yeah,
yeah.
which is
So
actually a
they-
pretty
they
good
got
beer. It's pretty good beer too.
Yeah, they had a couple that were a little on the racy side for the names. I thought it was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
it's
you look.
not candy.
I mean, when you look at the beers that Flying Dog has and some of their names, it's kind of frat boyish still. But then the way they did it, they were able to get away with it. It was kind of like more of an accepted type frat
Right.
boyish
Yeah.
type feel versus some of these other breweries that kind of trip over themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. They could do better on their can art.
So it's just kind of interesting on how they're able to do that versus someone like with the Bud Light thing went through. But again, it'll be interesting to see how they come out. I don't know if anything will change as far as I would think it'll be the same recipes for the beers, but we'll have to wait to see and how Utica ends up treating everything.
I mean, they got people talking about them, by the names that they choose for their beers.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean when they had when they
Yeah.
had the court case in Carolina, that was a big thing that came out too about how far could they actually go there on stuff, I guess. And
Now, were they?
You know.
They are not too far from you, are they? The brewery?
No, Frederick, Maryland's not too far from where I'm at, but I think it's actually close to Angie from Angie's Art Channel. I think it's close to where she might be, but nah, it's it'll be interesting. So unfortunately here, some of the people in Maryland, I don't know how big their brewery is, but obviously they're going to be shutting it down. They're going to be looking for some new jobs, but hopefully they can find some around here, unless they offer to bring them up to New York and stuff, which total different environment, but you never know. You never know.
Where are they from?
Frederick, Maryland.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like right there on this.
Give me a break. I'm engaging in beer talk. Okay, give me a break.
Now she could be mad at you instead of me. So.
Here, let me pass you my readers. No. Oh, other thing that came out this week, and this isn't really too surprising considering where we're at in the economy, but less than half of regional craft breweries beyond the top 50 increased volume in 2022. So they're seeing a number of breweries that were not able to hit their numbers from the previous year. Maybe just been under, only slightly, some were better. But considering the inflation stuff we've been going through, look, craft beer isn't cheap. It's going to cost you some stuff. So I saw where people were cutting back, and some people were drinking a little bit more Miller Lite, Bud Light, Busch Light, whatever. They were definitely drinking other of the macros because they didn't want to spend that money out. I'm sure Ham's probably had a pretty good year on some of the stuff they had there. I mean, Coors probably had a good year. It's like, you had other beers that were kind of your macros probably came back and play for some people. So it's tough, because I've looked at stuff myself and it's like, do I want to spend this amount for this craft beer,
Yeah.
And then the other thing I had, after more than a century in the beer, because everybody pretty much knows Shiner Bock, right? Everybody's had a Shiner Bock at some point. They're actually getting into distilled spirits, which would be interesting. So they're going to have a distillery now down there out of Texas. I guess Spetzel will be running it and everything. So if you like Shiner Bock now, you can look for some of the Shiner distillery stuff to come out. And we've had some breweries that have done that. I think in New Holland, they've released stuff under their distillery, which I have not had any of their stuff, but I definitely want to check it out at some point. Dogfish Head has stuff, I think, now. And there's some that, this whole thing is merging up. You've got like breweries doing distillery stuff. You got wineries that are offering brewery stuff. You just have all kinds of a mesh taking place, which is, again, why it's great to be a beer drinker at this time. You have a renaissance still taking place.
One of our nano breweries here, they do bourbon, vodka, gin, and I feel like they do 4, but I can't think what the other one is now.
Donham Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Tequila, maybe tequila, because that's become pretty popular.
Tequila, I believe. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is.
Liddell.
Yeah.
I remembered his name.
Sorry. Oh, I'm just thinking, was that a new alcohol? I haven't heard of Liddell. What's the
bartender
proof on Liddell?
Yeah, it's the bartender at Donham Day. He told us his name, and I was like, when we go in there, I'm like, I want to keep calling him Royal.
Oh, Royal, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, what's your name? He's like, Liddell. And I was like, I keep wanting to call you Royal. He's like, that sounds good. I'm like, I think it's a badass name. I said, but I think I like Liddell better.
You need to do like Michael off The Office, come up with a name game so you remember people's names. You ever see that episode on The Office where he's trying to remember people's names and he's going through names, like how he remembers them?
Anytime I've started a new job, I have to learn a bunch of residents' names. So I will make like a little rhyme in my head with like something that stands out about them to me. Like I had like this one little lady and her name was Mary, and she was just the sweetest little lady. I mean, and I was like, I don't know why, but I was like, Mary, like a nursery rhyme, Mary, Mary, quite contrary. Or no, Mary had a little lamb, because I would think Mary that had the lamb, she seemed like she'd be a pretty nice, happy person. So, so that's how I remember.
I was about to say the contrary one didn't really work.
Yeah, it wasn't contrary. It was.
I don't know why you just say Mary and sheep, and then you remember Mary because sheep, and then you think Mary.
Well, I have to take the long road.
But it's Shanna's mind.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind hanging out one day in Shanna's mind just to see all the stuff that happens there.
God, no, you wouldn't.
No thanks.
That would be
chaos.
That would be a ridiculous movie to watch.
It wouldn't make no sense. It would never get on the TV.
I feel like I would have to have a good amount of popcorn with me because it'd be entertaining. It would be entertaining.
No, you'd be like, what? And then I'd be on to something else, and then you would be like, what the hell is going on? Yeah.
Be a lot of jump cuts.
I'm like, rewind that back again. I got to see that again. Did that just happen? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be interesting though if you could actually do that.
God, no, I wouldn't want nobody to be in my mind. Nobody.
Might turn into a Jordan Peele movie.
For sure. Probably.
Oh, Rod's in the house. Cheers, my friend. What up? Just chilling, drinking a Yingling
Rod.
Flight. Nothing special, but not a bad light beer. No, I actually like the Yingling Flight. I did a review on that a couple years ago and thought it wasn't bad. It was just my question with Yingling was like, why do you have the Flight and the light? Because you have two light beers. One was a little lower in calories, the other one was a little lower in carbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny to see one brewery have two lighter beer options. Usually, most just go with one.
What's the flight?
It's light. It's light beer. Light
Yeah, but
lager.
I think is that the one that's the lower on carbs?
I think the Flight is lower in carbs, but the light is lower in calories.
Oh.
I don't know why they have both. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Like I thought they were gonna get rid of one of the lines, but they kept both of them. So
Probably just because of like the whole or the keto, they're not
or
looking
just
at
it's not that much of a difference. It's just like someone that has enough money they can just screw around and do stuff.
right.
You know.
Right, true.
Rod, so I was like, I'm gonna get on there. I'm gonna look at some beer news.
Uh-oh,
And
watch
like,
that now.
Then I was like, but then I was like, no, I'm gonna look at like women in beer. So I got as far as they called them Brewsters back in the day, and how women used to have. I know you've talked about this before because it rang a bell when I was reading it. How women used to be like in charge of all. They were the like main ones that made all the beer, and now it's like to all men. But I just came up with an idea. If you would be interested.
Wow.
I was hearing all these beer names, and I love the beer names, and I love the can art. So I was like, every time I would hear, like I heard Pseudo Sue, and I'm like, wonder how they came up with that name. And then I heard Toppling and Goliath, and I'm like, wonder how they came up with that name. And then I see like some of these the can art, and then I'm like, I wonder like how that happened. So I'm like, maybe I can like look into that and have some in like.
There you go.
Hey, did
And
you?
put it on the show.
Yeah, and be like,
Yeah.
hey.
I was like, where are you going with
Yeah.
this?
And then like I could just have these fun facts in my head, and when you all mention a beer, I could say, hey, did you know this about that?
Fun facts with Shannon.
I
I
like
like
it.
it.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's Shannon's corner. Yeah, definitely.
In its messy corner.
Yeah.
You never
yeah.
know.
Yeah. Like, this week we're gonna go and see what Shannon's thinking, right? And then we'll turn it over to you and
No,
see
it's
what's in your mind.
I've got a little smidge of beer news too, if that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So tomorrow is the end of Illinois Craft Beer Week, and they're closing it off with the Beer Under Glass event, which is one of the bigger beer events in Chicago for the year. It's going to be my first time going, so I'm super excited. But it has 125 plus breweries, all
Nice.
at Union Station in the Great Hall in Union Station, so right downtown. Super excited, but it's a pretty big event, and I know some of our folks are Chicago people. I don't know if any of you guys are going, Big Daddy, JT, any of you guys, but Chu and I will be there working a booth, so if you do go, I'll see you there. But I mentioned last week about the Phantasm, the powder from the New Zealand grapes that is making hazies juicier.
Right.
I told a couple breweries here in the area about this when I found out about it. When Chu and I would go and visit or whatever, I would talk with some people and let them know about this thing if they hadn't heard about it already. And one of my local breweries here ordered it, and they have a hazy double IPA planned because I told them about this thing.
Ooh.
So they're going to
Nice.
get it in and make this hazy IPA that I helped inspire. So I'm super excited about it. So yeah.
Very nice.
You'll have of course, I mean, you'll do like 60-second sips or something on it.
Oh yeah. I'll do a 60-second sip on it for sure. But and it should be ready by the time you get here, Rod. So if you're
Oh,
interested, I'll
nice.
save you a can. So
That'll be a hell yeah.
yeah. Well, at this point, I think there's only like 10 to 20 different breweries in the States that are using this right now
Yeah.
because it's fairly new. So I'm super excited that this one brewery
No,
we
that's
talked to was
awesome.
like, yeah, we're gonna use it. I'm like, yay! So I know that
First-
wasn't as much world news on beer; it was more my news on beer, but it makes me really happy.
It's news. It's news.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I would just say my thing is they should name it after you in some way.
Exactly.
It should be like Mal's Fortune or something where they can pay homage to bringing an idea.
I'm okay with not being in the name. It's
No,
totally
I
fine
think
with me.
they've got to be something like an Imperfectly Fined or something like after
Yeah, I
your
don't have
channel.
to have
There
your
you
name.
go.
They could
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
They should do something to reward
Something
you for coming up with that idea.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm up there, I'll tell them that too. Like, I hope y'all named it that. Y'all didn't name it. Oh, what's up with that? I mean, I'll get you your props when I'm up there. for
Yeah.
sure.
Like, yeah, first mistake.
Well, I think
Either way,
Mal,
super fun.
that's awesome
That's cool.
news,
Yeah, that's awesome.
and that calls for a celebration. Yeah.
Love it.
Strobe lights out for
I
that.
do need. Don't start crying if I get a strobe lights out.
Oh, I've got strobe lights. I just haven't cut
I
them
have
on.
strobe lights.
Oh yeah, we saw your strobe lights.
Oh
Before
yeah, yeah.
there. Yeah. I think the neighbor said they're swinging again.
Here we go again.
But they were like, "How come we never get invited?"
Is that why they have that bucket of keys by the front door?
Yeah.
Why are you always peeking out the window? Oh, look.
Oh my God.
That was funny. That was good.
I mean, people keep thinking it. Maybe we should just try it.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna need more coverage with the curtains. Just
Yeah.
saying.
No, it's how you invite people over.
I've seen the old Real Sex Shoes. Some people are viewers, so they might be all right.
Yeah. I feel like they could find a better show.
That'll be like the back deck room. You just look from the
Yeah.
outside.
Mission. $5 to come aboard.
Yeah. And yeah, choose Shadis. She drinks her craft beers here and there, but she goes back to macro too.
Yeah,
So,
I'm just like,
She's more of a Hefeweizen type.
Yeah, like if I
Yeah.
go to a bar that has a whole menu of Hefeweizens, I will try each single one of those.
yeah.
Like,
Pretty much anything that's not real hot or
yeah,
hoppy at all.
a wheat beer. I mean,
And then Todd carries her to the car, and it's all good.
Yeah, no, he don't have to carry me. I'm
Not
like that.
anymore. We're past that stage.
Yeah,
now.
I'm good. I'll get to be like, I don't think I should drink anymore, or I'll be like, I think I need some water, and like I'm better because I want to
Hey,
enjoy my whole night.
If you had a whole menu of Hefeweizens, you'd be like, "There's only 3 left."
You're true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, if it was at the end of the night, sure, I probably would.
There you go.
But I'm about,
see?
yeah, I want to stay out and have fun. I don't want to like cut my night short because I had too
Yeah.
much to drink and I can't handle it. So,
Only 3 left.
yeah, if it was at the end of the night, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, 3 left.
I
Yeah.
gotta have them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't say it's over. It's just you got to realize with Bud Light. So Bud Light took a $4 billion hit on the Bud Light line. AB and Bev was still up $14 billion. So they're big numbers on one end, but on the other end, you're like they still gained. They still made a net profit of $14 billion because they own so many different things. So it's kind of like if you broke your finger, you still have 4 other fingers that are still doing okay. Depending on what finger it is. Like Bud Light might be like the pinky to the AB and Bev line. There's some stuff you want your pinky for, but you can get by without it. Now, if it's the thumb's a little bit more important. So,
That's
so
right.
yeah, right. So it's all a matter of how it actually worked out. But they got a lot of stuff going for them. I mean, if they just be quiet, because they're going to end up screwing themselves up, right? And people are going to be like,
Yeah.
oh, it's Black Friday. And some people are like, well, I can't get a Goose Island because that won't happen. What am I talking about? People will still get the Goose Island.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they'll still go in the line up for it.
So
Yep.
before this whole thing with Bud Light, were they already in trouble? Was this just like a Hail Mary?
Oh
that
no, they were
trying?
they were fine. It was it was
They were
fine.
coasting.
Yeah.
I think. Well, I was gonna say I think they'll end up okay, but now they just keep digging the hole deeper. So I don't know.
Yeah.
They're making
they're
a
AB
couple
and
bad
Bev.
decisions, but someone's going to figure out that they're bad decisions. They're just going to shut up at some point. They'll be fine. People have been drinking them forever. It's
It'll bounce back.
going
yeah.
under or anything. I
Yeah.
really don't think that.
What they're going through is kind of like a Kramer moment, as we relate back to Seinfeld, when he had like Jackie as his lawyer, and he would tell Kramer just shut up and sit there, and Kramer couldn't help to speak. He would, like ruin every
Yep.
case. So that's kind of what they're doing right now.
Oh God, I can relate.
Just sit there, don't say anything. It's just like they say one thing, okay, we'll take it. Like, we doing like. So we'll wait to see what happens there. Shannon loved Energy City pineapple coconut cream pie beer. Yeah,
Exactly right, Big Daddy.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I showed her too. She's like, "Oh yeah, that was." She remembered that
Oh,
one. Yeah.
that's sweet. They didn't remember
I
that.
know.
Thanks, Big
that one
Daddy.
sounds like a really good.
It
good
does
one,
sound
too.
really good.
Yeah.
So that one and the peanut butter one is the only Energy Cities I've had, but both of those got like a 4.5 on Untapped for me. So
Nice.
Have you ever had a 5?
yeah.
I probably asked this question a million times. I know
I don't
you.
think so.
You ever had do you do Untapped, Mal?
I do.
Have you ever had a 5,
Yeah, there have been a few.
Rod?
There's been a few.
Okay, what's the 5est of the 5s of all of your 5s?
The 5 of the 5, like
Yes.
the top 5 of the
No.
5s.
The
The
5est.
best of
The 5. If you could give a 6 to one of your 5s, which one would it be?
Oh.
Wait a minute. What?
If you could rate it higher than a 5 out of 5, what would it be?
Is this a Common Core problem? Let me.
Yeah, exactly. 2 plus 2 is 8. You know, just gotta
Oh my God!
draw it out to get there.
God,
That's all.
forget it.
No, what are you saying?
She
You rate
wants to
one
know
higher
which
than
of your
5.
5s would you have rated higher if you could have?
One of those
Of all
beers.
5s that you've done.
Probably one would have been the Bourbon County Stout, I think, that I had back in 2015. The base version was really good. And that
No,
comes to
just
mind.
one.
And I can only do just one?
Yes, I said the 5est of the 5s.
Well, that changes every year. So if I had to choose one that kind of stay the same, that I might Victory at Seas from Ballast Point. That's always because you can't refine any now, but that was
Okay.
one that would have been probably a little higher.
So we're going to break it down this way. Okay, so you have those 2 that you just said. Those 2 beers you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if they were both sitting in front of you and can only pick up one of them, which would it be?
Oh, look at this. Wow. Don't say 2 when you guys answer, because then it gets even more of a Common Core problem. I would probably go with the Victory at Sea.
That's your 5est of 5s right there.
Yeah.
All right, Mal, what about you?
So I don't pay money for Untapped. I tried to pull up what my 5s were, and it'll only show me 1 week, not all time. So I can't check.
How's
what
that
my
happen?
5s actually
No,
I don't-
were.
No,
I don't pay for it. You
I
should
don't
see
pay
it
for
all.
either.
It might be your
Really?
filter. Yeah, you should
Well,
be
I
able to
went
see
into
them all.
statistics, and it won't show me anything past 1 week. So
Did you go under like where you have beers?
yeah,
See all, and when you go to see all, and you have a sort.
rating.
It
Oh, I
should
can
be-
rate. Okay.
Yeah, you're rated high to
Let me
low.
try
You
that.
might, yeah.
I'm trying to hunt down what my 5s were so I can like actually answer this other than just blowing smoke and not really.
Well, I mean, but don't you feel like there's already one of them in your head that you're thinking of that?
Can I change my 5?
know,
now that
no.
Mouse said I went back, I want to change
Yeah.
my 5. It would be the Stone Mocha IPA.
Okay.
That would be the one I would actually.
All right.
Oh man. I
Yeah,
got
that's a
some
hard
good
question.
See,
ones
I've
here.
had
This is
like
hard.
on Untapped, I've had over 7,000 beers that I've marked in,
But
which
you
is
remember those 3, or 2.
Yeah, I remember that I only have like about 10 that I've ever given a 5 to out of 7,000 plus beers I put on here, which is kind of like a big number, except there's a lot of beers I've Untapped wasn't around that I drank too. So I'm probably like
True.
Will Chamberlain over 10,000 or something. But
Right.
yeah, you remember the really good ones that kind of stick
Right.
out.
Yeah. It's already in your head.
Yeah. So according to this, as I'm going through what my 5s are, so Chu and I share one account on Untapped. So there's a couple where it's like a extreme sour, and I know Chu gave it a 5, and I wouldn't have given it a 5. So I have to like go through just a smidge. For me, of all of these, the one that jumps out the most for me is from Zoombeer Brewing. They're in Waukegan. They have an SMRX2, and it's their Scotch Ale. I've had it over the last 4 years, and every time I have it, it's just as good as the first time I've had it, if not better. So it's a tiny little brewery. They don't distribute widely or anything. But yeah, for them, it would be the Scotch Ale at Zoombeer, Zumbier, in Waukegan, Illinois. I think that would take my top spot for what I would have given a higher score to.
So can you still get those beers that you guys like?
Yeah.
No, I can't. No, they just continue to
Aren't you
still
sad
Mocha
about
IPA.
that, Rod?
I was pissed off about it because they keep other shit out there that's not even as good as what the Mocha IPA was. In my
Should've
It
opinion.
sounds like you're just poking him with a needle over here.
Yeah,
Aren't you sad about that?
yeah,
Isn't that a
yeah.
problem for you? Don't you wish? No.
I mean,
I saw that.
I get upset as much as John Wick when he killed his dog. Like if I could, I'd make him visit out. I'd make him visit out to Southern California.
I didn't have to bring that up. Jesus. All right.
You got it right back. Nice job.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can still get mine because he brews that one every year. So.
Man, you cannot. Mine would be the Proprietors Bourbon County from 2014.
Ooh, you went with the Bourbon County. Oh.
It was so good.
Actually, I had the Proprietors from this year at an event last weekend, and it was quite good. They were at the same event where I was at, and we gave them like a couple cans of what we had, and they came over and they're like, we have like 6 of the Goose Island barrel ones. You want some? And we're like, yes. It was fantastic.
Have you made inroads with them yet? There?
No, not yet.
Okay,
I've been a lazy slacker. I know. I've been a lazy slacker.
Well, I mean, up there, I mean, they're pretty good from the people that I know that have made inroads. Like as far as social media beer influencers, like there's media stuff that will provide to you there. You're right there in Chicago, pretty much, and like they get you all the Bourbon County line. Like I know people I know in there that have connected with them. They get the whole line. Like give you a nice little packet with the glass and stuff, so you can actually do stuff. Yeah, Goose Island.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty media friendly on stuff. So
could be more friendly.
I think Chu and I just need to sneak into their tap room and do a quick filming and post it online.
I would just reach out to them. I would just message them and let them know. I mean, I wouldn't even. You can do that. Like again, I know you guys like to ask about it. I go in and just shoot video. It creates more of a curiosity when they're wondering what you're doing over there. I think.
I know.
You're right.
We've actually had breweries say no when we've asked, or we've had one brewery say no when we asked, and the girl was like, "I'll have to talk to my manager, and they're not here." So we didn't film that day.
Should have done it
No,
anyway.
we filmed somewhere else. That's what we did. We went to a different brewery and filmed.
Yeah.
So,
see, I don't even ask.
Yeah.
Just do it.
But when we do ask, a lot of times if the manager or an owner or someone isn't there, whoever's on duty there will reach out to that manager, owner, brewer, whatever, and get one of them in. And that person will be like, well, what's going on over here? And then we'll end up getting an interview with them when they weren't even like scheduled to be there. So we've actually had it work out in our favor a lot of times now.
Yeah,
or someone will come in special just because we happen to be there filming. It's been pretty nice, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess maybe because I have a sales background, we always say it's better to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission.
Oh, that's not just a sales thing.
No, I have a sales background too, but I always hated that part. I always hated that part.
just walk in and just start shooting.
Yeah.
Someone
good.
says they could only spend $2,000 on a ring. I can't stand showing them the $10,000 rings first. It just sucks. I feel like a
Yeah.
jerk. I hate being that person, and I've been that person. I just don't like it.
You said you love this person, right? You said you love this person. You said you love this
Yeah.
person, so you're
And
not going
how
to
much
step
is
up.
that person gonna love you giving them this? Oh yeah, I've
I
been
feel
that.
like
I've
you're
been
a
that
jerk.
person, and I don't
wanna
like
buy
her.
anything from you.
I don't like being her. She's
You
not.
drop
She's
me.
not pleasant.
I've been in sales long enough. You drop me off in Alaska, I'm selling ice cubes to Eskimos. That's just how good I am when I get in the sales stuff. So it's just
I
like,
could see that. Like, I feel like you would be very charming, like very like, you know,
I mean,
like
at one
you
time
good
I
at one
worked.
of them. Have you ever had like those kids come to the door trying to sell you magazine subscriptions and they're all like charming and they got like this whole spiel and stuff?
Oh yeah, I closed the door on those people.
No, but
The vacuum cleaners,
I
the
mean,
carpet cleaner stuff. Yeah,
I
whatever.
did learn that lesson, but the first time it happened, I'm like, gosh, this kid, he's like really like
Yeah.
he's like charisma, and I'm like, it's
You
hard
gotta
to
have,
think
yeah.
about that. And then I put a no soliciting sign on my door because I'm like, I can't afford all these people.
I mean, the biggest thing with sales is always confidence. So as long as you have the
Yeah.
confidence and it's kind of like that comes through, and that's
So-
part of it right there.
I sold diamonds, so that was the high end stuff, the high ticket stuff. But I also sold high end loose leaf tea for a while. And if you can talk someone into walking out with a pound of tea, 1 pound of loose leaf tea, and they've just spent $130 with you, you've got the sales bug. You can do it.
Yeah.
I hate being that person. I just
Yeah.
do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something about it just bugs me. I feel like a jerk.
Well, there's definitely different types. Like I don't like the retail sales like that as much.
Yeah.
I like more the consultative type sales. But at one point, I worked for a diamond broker that we worked at, and we would sell diamonds over the phone to get people to buy diamonds from the
Over
Beers
the
family.
phone?
That's how I roll. I can handle it over the phone. You ain't got to
That's-
see me, son, and I'll get in your pockets.
That's that one right there.
Listen, I'm not a diamond expert by any means, but I'm pretty sure.
I would set them up over the phone, and they would talk to we would basically get people. I would get the people interested, and then the assignment person would get on the other line, and they would talk to about selling the diamonds and getting them invested into it and stuff like that. And at that point, they would get like to see something before they actually turn their money in. Don't get me wrong; but it was still over the phone.
Okay.
To actually get them interested, not seeing anything in front of them, and building that imagery in their mind. That's not an easy thing to do. So,
No.
Well, you did write that book that you told me about, though, with the virus and all that stuff, the sci-fi book.
well, I didn't write it. I read it.
No,
I
you
wish
said
I
you
would've read
wrote
it.
a book about.
No, I read it. You were drunk. I read it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
See if you didn't forget already.
Fair enough.
Again.
Oh, I know what you're now. I think you're talking
He
about
did write something at one point.
She was talking about the story I wrote in college where my
Yes.
professor said I could actually get it published if I developed the characters more. And that was actually about a virus. So back in college, Mal, you probably know this story, but in college, I was an English lit minor to my advertising journalism degree. So I took a lot of English lit classes, and I had sci-fi and fantasy writing as one of the courses we took. So we had to write like a short story or whatever. So I developed this short story back in the 90s where basically the world had went through like a Armageddon type experience, nuclear attack or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And there was only one man left. And there was one man who was like trying to go out. He's trying to find other people. He searched all different cities and that stuff. And he comes across these women. And so the women end up kidnapping the guy and basically holding him hostage. And what the women have figured out is that men were the root of all the issues. So men couldn't be in control anymore. So women were now going to take over the world. But they were using him to basically impregnate the women so they could actually have the next generation of children. And he was trying to warn them about actually doing that. And what ends up happening, they wouldn't listen to him, and they kept doing it until one of the women that was a scientist actually realized when she ran the tests, the guy had HIV.
Yep.
So he ended up wiping out the rest of the women.
Yes. See,
Yeah.
I was drunk, but
Mal was like, oh. Yeah. See, so and my professor was like, if you just develop characters more along this line, then you'd actually have a pretty good book you could actually put out there. Yeah. This was before Legend and all that stuff came out. It's like back in the early 90s. Yeah.
because at first you were like, women power. And I'm like, yes. But then you kind of flipped it, and it's like the guy's not a bad guy. They're all like men are bad.
And he's trying to tell them, but they won't really let them.
So yes.
And in the end, men destroy the world again. So.
Well, women had a part of that one. They didn't listen.
Women had a part, yeah.
But why would they listen? So I mean, there's just.
And that's the thing. They got so dug in. They didn't want to listen because they were dug into their spot. So I had a few different things that were taking place in it.
Yeah, I'd love to read that book. You should develop those characters more.
Who are you gonna say, Mal? Mal's like thinking on it now. Like
no, in all that free time you have, you need to develop that book.
Yeah, all the free time. Yeah.
A lot of free time. Right?
Dreams.
Let's do it.
I put up on the big board project number 569. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So, but it was a good idea. I liked it. I got an A+ on it.
I'll buy it.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to just put it on your merch.
There you go.
I should.
Rajay Sci-Fi.
There is actually another thing because I do want to get back into writing. So this is something that might be coming forward to the channel. I haven't decided yet, but I have a book to actually write. And basically it gives you 5 words that you have to use in a story. So it's a blank page. You have 5 words tied into a story. And I'm thinking about creating something called like the Beer Diaries. And I'm going to create a story off of each one. It's going to be around beer or something. And I might bring it to the channel to test it out. Like just basically a reading with Rajay. I'm going to kind of share that story.
I love that.
And then we'll see. I'm debating it in my mind. So
Rajay's corner.
Yeah. And just kind of sit there and kind of go through the reading. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. In the comments. That might be something interesting.
No, that's fun. And you could post it out to other people beforehand. Have guest readers if you want to share something that someone writes, or like.
Yeah. I feel like I need to get a Hugh Hefner smoking jacket though.
No, don't
do it. Yeah.
Big pipe.
What, smoking or the jacket?
The jacket.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The jacket. The Hugh Hefner. Just the Hugh Hefner.
Well, actually, Hugh Hefner was more of a robe. So, I mean.
Yeah, well, either way.
Isn't that where you want to get to in life, though, where you just walk around in your pajamas the whole time?
I do that now.
Yeah, I was going to say. She ain't working or drinking beer out at the pub.
My dreams have come true.
Yeah. She's living her dream.
Goal
You
achieved.
can do it. It's not that far.
Fair enough. Let me see here. Get some of these comments.
Totally just walk in your pajamas all day.
What are you wearing at home?
Yeah, right.
You wear jeans and shoes walking around the house in the middle of the day? You do.
You said that. It made me think of Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights. God, we seen Ricky Bobby. And he's like, if I say peanut butter, you say, and he's like, woman. He's like, no, you say, jelly. He's like, what, you like jelly when you're women?
I don't know how you got there from what I sat there. From what you said.
The short answer is beer.
You're right. Yeah. There you go.
But JT said 30-pack of Bud Light will raise $16.98 in Walmart dollars. Well, you get $1.98 back. Yeah.
Heck
yeah. Although JT's not going to drink Bud Light at all.
Is Walmart dollars like a club that we aren't part of? Is it like
no? It's just I think it's the same dollars. Just
I'm joking.
Yeah. It's the price.
That's another thing.
It's the price rollback.
We can't get 30 packs of hardly anything.
Not even hams.
We might get hams 30 pack, but
you can't get 30-pack of hams. I don't even know where you're at in the country.
I know. Well, we are Indiana, so you know.
Yeah, it might be Milwaukee's best there. Hey, back in the early college years, Milwaukee's best had a spot. It was cheap and it was.
I'm not even sure we can get Milwaukee's best.
It had a spot back on its shelf. That's what the spot was.
Well, when I went to college, 87, 88, it was like. It wasn't like it is now. So you didn't have the craft choices. So remember, Red Dog didn't come along later. So you had like Milwaukee's Best Milwaukee's Best. You had Old Milwaukee. Nobody really drank that because you always thought that was your dad fishing somewhere with your uncle, right? So nobody wanted to drink the old. Nobody brought Old Milwaukee to the party. He was like, "What do you like, Old Milwaukee? Like, what is this like Cocoon? Like, you don't bring Old Milwaukee to a party." So it's like Milwaukee's Best or Miller. Genuine Draft was Genuine Draft was popular back then. Obviously, at Miller Lite too, but Genuine Draft when that came out, that became real popular.
I miss Miller Genuine Draft. I do
Yeah.
miss Miller Genuine Draft. I can't find it. I've been looking.
I don't know if they still make it or if it's just a limit. I think in Canada they still do because I know off the 10th, Chris, he still gets it up there. It's one of his favorite beers. And then you had your other stuff in the stores, like your 40s and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to think of some of the big ones. You had the Buds, you had the Miller, you had the
Schlitz.
You had the Heineken, you had the Schlitz. When you got extra money, that week, you spiced it up. You went to the Molson Golden because Molson. Now you're talking about Canadian beers at the party. You're walking in with swag when you're bringing Canadian beers in. Back in the 80s, having Canadian beer, that was the next level. So,
see, I didn't realize there were beer snobs back in the day, like when we were kids, like our parents.
Well, that was as snobbish as it got, though.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't. I don't know if it was as snobby as it can be now with craft beer.
No.
But back in the 80s, Canadian beer was considered like a step up because it was an import, And you had people like Lowenbrow was considered a step up because that was like what you drank with your steak. That was like, that wasn't a burger beer. That was a steak beer.
Or like Moosehead or something, was that?
Yeah.
Right,
Moosehead was big. Yeah. So there were different levels.
You remember that sound effect you had?
Oh, yeah. I saw you over there with the glass. Hey, Chew. What are you doing? What are you doing down there, my friend? You know what time it is. That means get your ass upstairs and get a beer for this person.
One of those on my phone.
Here comes the door. Be open. Which one do you want, Mal? Which one do you want?
He brings two. That way he doesn't get bothered again for a little bit of time.
That's true. That's true.
It's like,
oh, I hear him coming.
Yeah.
Oh, here he is.
What do you want now?
Oh, goodness, really?
What a good man.
Oh. Do I show you first or just ask you left or right?
Wait a minute. Yeah, you can show me first.
All right.
That sounded like
the Trappist.
Ooh, trap.
Oh, Laura, 450
Ooh,
North.
450. Let's bring it to the screen here. Why don't we let the viewers,
Ooh.
which one should Mal drink next? The 450 North or the Trappist Rochefort?
The cheesecake sounds really good, though. But I don't know, the Trappist.
Blackberry cheesecake.
Those either.
We'll leave it to the viewers. Type 1 if you want the cheesecake. Type 2 if you want the Trappist. That way it's easy. It's just one button to hit instead of typing it all out.
So you don't have to type the whole name.
Yeah. What we got here?
Oh, JT says Trappist.
I got, Emerson says 1 for 450. Emerson. Trez says 2 for Trappist. JT is 2 for Trappist.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my dad says
your
2
dad
for
says
Trappist
2 for
too.
Trappist. Yeah.
Can't go wrong with Trappist for sure.
Anybody else? Oh, it is Gilbert. I agree. I've had it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I think we're going to go ahead with the majority there. 3 out of 4 people said drink the Trappist.
All right. You got it, guys.
Trappist as it is.
Shannon, send me a pic of the Bud Light receipt and I'll take the money, Chew said. Oh, Chew. Elbow's in the house. Cheers, Elbow. Good to see you, my friend. Drinking a space. Elbow loves space dust. I think every time I talk to Elbow, he's having a space dust, which I don't hate on it. I like space dust. So I think people are starting to find that 3 Floyd Zombie Ice at this point, and that's a good one. I don't know if you've had it yet or not, Todd, but people are finding it.
No, I had it on the show.
Oh, that's right, you did. Yeah.
Yes, that's really good.
Oh, this smells so amazing.
Got that right. Yeah. It looks amazing in the Rajay BeerVentures glass. So
it really does. It looks
look at that.
Look at that.
Let's get that out there. Let's model it.
That is.
Let's model that son of a beach.
Rajay BeerVentures to the Vanna White here.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Get it right now on the Zazzle store. Stores are in the comments or in the description, folks. There you go. I like it.
Highly recommended. A beer never tasted so good unless it was out of a Rajay BeerVentures glass.
That's right.
And now you know how I sold diamonds.
There you go.
2,000.
As once said in Dumb and Dumber, I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh, and I was distracted at the time he came in, but thank you, Chew, for bringing me a beer. Thank you.
Thank you,
Love
Chew.
you.
Chew, we appreciate you.
I wish I had a
Yeah.
full name like Chew.
Oh, I'm just gonna relax here and enjoy it. Oh yeah, that's
It's a
Right.
nice
So
one.
caught up on your comments. I have another question for you guys about
All
beer.
All right. Okay. Well, then I'll go down the comments here then real quick. Cody may do well, but yeah, Bud Light. Yeah, I don't think they'll get rid of it. I think because you got to have a light beer, and I don't know if Bud Light can afford to get rid of it. So, and they got people that are buying it. It's just less people. So it may not be just as bigger. Bill's in the house. Beer House. Cheers, my friend. Happy
Cheers.
Thursday to you. Y'all know Beer House. Make sure to check Bill out. Some good stuff on his channel. Trez in the house. Cheers, brother.
What's up, Trez?
See, Trez, he's one of the members there with the membership, and get some more members in there, and you can actually get some unique type stuff as well. Check out the memberships there in the description too. I got also, if you guys are looking for some beer stuff, some great affiliate links I have in there as well. Getting beer delivered to you, getting beer openers, getting some different things. I'm working with some different companies. Check that out there in the description. I bet you Wolf of Wall Street, hell of a sales. Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street I still watch that when it comes on at times. Like it'll be the middle of the night now, like on a Friday or Saturday, like not Cinemax, but HBO and Showtime. I don't even know Cinemax.
Yeah.
Get a Max.
I don't know if Cinemax is even still on anymore. Now everything is just Max.
Is it still a thing?
I don't know if it is or not.
It's funny.
Right.
I used to have I used to have a funny page on Facebook where I used to put comedy things, and I put the one scene from The Wolf of Wall Street when the Luz kick in, the Leonardo DiCaprio, he's at the golf club, and he has to like crawl down to get in the car. And I had somebody get upset, like, you shouldn't really put this up here. Could you take it down? Like, no, it's my page. I want to put up what I want.
Right.
I think it's an hilarious scene myself. Maybe you don't understand the humor of it, but yeah, I still watch Wolf of Wall Street. I still crack up when I watch that and everything. And that made me a Margot Robbie fan watching that movie too.
Yeah, who would
Yeah.
be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy now is seeing what's the dude's name? Josh. Not is it Josh. He was Leonardo's partner in it. The 22 Jump Street guy.
Johnny Depp?
No, the remake
Oh,
with him
Channing
and
Tatum?
well, not him, the chubby guy. He was chubby.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Jonas Hill or
Jonas Hill.
Yeah,
He's like
Jonas
totally.
Hill, yeah.
Jonah Hill, yeah.
He's like totally skinny now. Like it just throws me off.
Oh,
That
yeah.
film and stuff. Yeah.
Have you seen he's got some kind of thing, I think it's on Apple TV, and it's like him and I don't know if it's his therapist or some kind of guru. I haven't watched it, but it looks like it could be like really interesting, like
a podcast type thing he does or something.
well, I don't know.
Is it
I think
series?
it's just like a one show, like
Oh.
or
Mhm.
one like a documentary, or I don't know what you would call
Yeah.
it. They just sit down and talk, but it's just like a one episode thing.
Oh,
But
I'll
it
try to
kind of
check
is
it
just
out.
like walks you through like like I said, I haven't watched this. I could be totally off with this, but it's just kind of like how to like be better mentally or something.
I'll have to check it out. But Jonas Hill, easily for me, his best film that I've always enjoyed. I still watch from time to time is Superbad. I think he was hilarious in Superbad when that came
Superbad
out.
is so
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah, Superbad.
Superbad was hilarious.
God.
Yeah, but Wolf of Wall Street, I can watch Wolf of Wall Street over and over again, and the whole humor of it, the acting of it, and the guy that played Shane from The Walking Dead that's in it as well, and Rob Reiner's hilarious in it. It's the dad for Leonardo DiCaprio. It's just like a great cast, and just
It is a good movie.
the whole funny stuff that happens. And the weird thing is just knowing that actually, even though they took whatever they could do with the movie to make it more entertaining, like basically someone did screw people like this, and he actually went to jail, and
Of course.
now the guy he played is out on the circuit where he basically goes around telling people how to avoid doing it. So he's making money again, telling people how to avoid being in that
And
situation.
people are giving it to him.
Well, but he's legit. It's legit though. So
As
you
far as-
it's like you said, like how do you catch a criminal? You have to hire a criminal to catch a criminal sometimes.
Right.
So yeah. So
But can you actually trust that person?
can you trust a
A
lot
lot
of
of people's
people
made a lot
nowadays?
of
Well,
money
that's-
by
that's
being
the
bad.
drama,
They're not
right?
They're not caring about trusting. They're caring about making money. So.
Yeah.
What's that one with the? Was that one with Leonardo DiCaprio? Was it him that was in the? Was it Tom?
Can't
maybe
catch
Tom?
me or catch me.
Yes,
If you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catch me if you can.
Catch me if you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
that's nuts.
is there a DiCaprio movie that is a bad movie?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Because I feel like DiCaprio is going to be when people look at him
picky on things.
20 something years from now, he'll be like that Pacino of his generation.
Yes.
He'll be that type of high
What's the
level.
last thing he's made?
He's so picky on things, though.
Well, he's got a new one coming out. He's in a new Scorsese movie that's about to come out again that they're working on.
As far as DiCaprio goes, though, I mean, some people would say the Romeo and Juliet remake
Oh, that
as
was
a
good.
good
I
one.
like that.
I loved that.
I
one.
like that
I thought
one.
it was excellent. I thought it was a great rendition. I thought it was unusual.
The
I
Great
thought,
Gatsby.
ouch.
Yeah.
But a lot of people did not like that movie.
Yeah, but it might have been a twist on it being more of a current type thing too that maybe threw him off. But
What
I think
about
a
the
lot
Great
of
But
people
when you
had
think
an
of
issue with that.
when you
But
think
I
of
thought, what's the guy, the John Leguizamo as
Mhm.
in that too? He was amazing.
yeah,
Like absolutely
Leguizamo's got some
phenomenal
good
as
acting, yeah.
what Tybalt? No, I can't remember the character's name, but
Yeah.
yeah, he was phenomenal. I thought they all did a great job in that. I don't know.
Well, when you watch Whitfield and Gilbert Grape, I don't know one person that didn't think DiCaprio was actually,
he
was
was
it-
amazing.
I don't even know the word is to say nowadays or whatever. I don't want to say handicapped or like that, but it's like
Yeah,
I don't think anybody thought that was not actually the situation. They didn't realize he
Right.
was
No.
playing a role. He did it so good. Like,
he
Right,
did
yeah.
so well in that. That's for sure.
yeah, he's pretty solid. He's of and I say younger type actor. I think he's like in his 40s now, or whatever. But he's
Yeah,
like he's kind of at
No.
that bar level. He's like that next generation coming through after Denzel, after Pacino, after Harrison Ford, and all these other guys retire. I mean, he's going to be like that top dog.
Now, what was the one where he was at the mental institution and he came there as a detective?
the
The
party.
Oh.
twist at the end. What was that?
The
That was
Shutter-
that Shutter Island.
Shutter Island. That was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I saw that one more recently, probably last
Yeah.
year or so, and I was really impressed once again because
He's solid. I mean, I think I feel like, over the years we had like Al Pacino and we had De Niro and we had Dustin Hoffman, all these guys. And I feel like going forward, you have like DiCaprio, you have like Christian Bale. You have some of these actors that are just starting to set that next generation of great presence in films and stuff. It's going to be, sadly, I thought Jonathan Majors was on that role until he ran into whatever situations he ran into. Chadwick Boseman was on that role until he happened to die from the cancer. But you think of some of the actors that are kind of in that upcoming era. Some people knock on stuff like Chris Pratt. I think Chris Pratt does some pretty good roles for stuff that he does, and he kind of, knows how to pick stuff that fits him when he does stuff and everything.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see if he does a crossover at some point where he's more of that serious thing. I think you saw that take place with Adam Sandler. Although I haven't seen the movie, from the reviews, like Uncut Gems was something that started to separate him apart from other comedian actors. And then another one, I forgot the other movie he had done, but it's kind of like starting to make
Goodman?
kind of a turn. No,
Sandler.
Adam
Oh.
Sandler. Yeah. A lot of
I
people
want to
talk
see
about
that.
that role. Yeah.
But, I started to watch it, but I start a lot of things I don't finish. So
Yeah. And I know sometimes he gets flack. I mean, because he did do G, whatever with J-Lo. Ben.
yeah.
But Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, they actually do some pretty good movies together. They actually are pretty solid in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not picky enough. I think he's just, who the hell knows? I don't know.
But I think Matt Damon's better than Ben Affleck in
I do.
films.
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
yeah,
I agree.
But I was just reading the next movie that Leonardo DiCaprio is going to be in. It's called Killers of the Flower
Yeah,
Moon.
that's Martin Scorsese movie coming out.
Yeah.
Dude, let me tell you something. If you have not seen the trailer for that,
Oh, I haven't.
it's disturbing a little bit.
But I
You have
was
to
reading
watch
the
it to
plot.
see. But it's got him and it's got Bobby De Niro, and it's about the Osage tribe. If you never
Yeah.
heard about the Osage tribe, because again, not all history is told as we find out, right?
For
The
sure.
Osage tribe was some
Yeah.
crazy stuff that happened back there, like in 1920 out in Oklahoma. And you'd have to see it online to see what it's all. When I saw the trailer, I went online to kind of find out more. Dude, it was kind of crazy because like this whole thing of a mystery that unraveled from it. So I'm looking forward to seeing that film. And for Native Americans, it's going to be more of their history being told. Which again, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't get told about them. So
Is that it right there?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
let me see here. So we had a question from Big Daddy. Big Daddy said, if you could have one beer to finish your death row meal, why we gotta be on death row, son?
You're right.
What would it be on death row for my last beer? If the governor or president called with a pardon, finish my death row meal. I'm gonna have to go back to one of the ones I probably enjoyed from when I early on that always is great and pleasant. It was for the longest time my favorite beer. I'm gonna go with the what you call them? Shit, now I can't even think of it because I'm like stuck on that thing there. But it's one of the Belgian ales. It's the what is it here? Golden Drop 9000 quad. I don't know why I had a brain freeze on it. Golden Drop 9000 quadruple. Just a big quad.
Because it was a long name.
That was when I bought
Yeah.
When he was in Cincinnati there for like, what was it, $5 or something for the bottle?
$5 for like a Magnum. For like a Magnum. Yeah.
Big ass bottle for it was like
Yeah,
$5.99
yes,
or
yes,
$4.99.
Shannon. Shannon, your husband's buying Magnums, but that's it for you.
Oh, well, okay.
Head tied on, just got a rubber bandage.
Who are you seeing?
I think the
Guess
Golden
I'm
Drop
eating
9000. Yeah. Golden Drop 9000. What about you guys?
So
Hey.
for me, I'd probably pick something that's really hard to find because then I might get a little longer.
Yes.
like something from one of the Trappist monks that is only comes out like one time a year, and this is fall and it doesn't come out till spring, so I get an extra 6 months. I might do something like that. Pliny the Elder, perhaps, or something that it's hard to get a hold of at all times a year. Yeah,
Yeah.
I might swing that direction just to buy a little time. Give the governor a little more time to think this over.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's your death row meal, so that means you're eating and you're done, right?
But the governor can still call by midnight, right? So, because you
Yeah.
get your meal the night before you actually, or if it's going to be at midnight, you still got time.
Well, it's
You
going to
still
be
got
the day
time.
before, but if they can't find the beer I want, then I get extra time until they find it, right?
Well, no, it
That's
could
how
be that
It
night.
gets
It could be
pushed
that
back
night.
until
Yeah.
they can find what I'm asking for.
Depends
So
on if
I'm
you
going
pissed
to
them
ask
off.
for really difficult to find food. I'm going to ask for really difficult to find beer, and I'm going to be happy. So
You're drinking the beer, like, is that the phone? Is that the phone? I think it's.
it sounds like the phone. I think I'm hearing the phone.
What's that noise?
Yep.
No, see what I think of so Big Daddy asked this question, and then so Rod started, and then Mel started, and instead of just like, this is like 101, like when I was in school, it's like, you have the question, do not look at things that aren't in the question. And so you two totally went off and were like made this question. You did not get the right answer.
I did get the answer.
Yeah.
Oh, what it
I
would
think
be.
the answer I wanted to give.
I said the
but
Golden
that's
Drop.
my answer.
I said the Golden. I said the Golden Drop 9000. I gave the answer.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I'm on
All
death row. I'm going to tell my story before I die. I mean,
Okay. That's not in the question either.
They say any last words. So I gave my
All
last
right.
words.
I would say it'd be the proprietor's Bourbon County from 2014. So I may never die. They'd be like, we can't find them more.
There you go. They can't
There you
find
go.
it. See?
Sorry.
Yeah. We found a guy. We found it.
Yeah,
We
they're
found a
like,
guy-
"All right, yeah, you're dead. I guess you don't
We
get
found a
to
guy
see
in New York named Kyle with no hype beer reviews, and he happened to have some on his shelf.
Yeah, he's probably like, here, I can help you out. I'm like, thanks, Kyle. What are you doing?
Thanks a bunch, Kyle.
You
Yeah.
said you were my friend. You told me that before. Yeah.
Ah,
With
Kyle's
Shannon.
a jerk. It's fine.
Shannon be Miller Lite. She'd be like Miller Lite.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, just give me what's handy. I don't want you to have to go and like.
Should I just whatever, just kill me, whatever,
No,
be done
I
with
just
it.
be like, I'm sure your job is so hard. You're getting ready to kill me. I bet that weighs so much on your conscience. Just grab whatever in the
No,
fridge.
she'd say
You know
whatever,
what?
whatever
You know
gas
what?
price you got.
Yeah.
She's trying to do
The-
reverse
the
psychology.
The guy who's pulling the switch isn't the one who's going to travel 7 countries to get my beer. So
Well-
it's going to be someone else.
Yeah, I know. I just feel bad. I'm like, this poor guy's working in the prison system. I'm like, I bet you're having a hard day. Just
that
get
poor
me-
that poor guy is like, you're about to die.
Yeah, right.
His problem, not a him problem.
It's
I
like,
guess.
that's the best you got. That's the best you have.
I don't know.
He's like, I'll be all right. Yeah, my job may be shitty, but you're about to die.
I'm like,
I'm
I'd
gonna pull. I'm
rather
gonna,
die than have your job.
you're like, I'm gonna pull a switch just so you don't have to drink that beer.
Yeah, so you'll shut the hell up. Yeah. You're like, go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's a classic. Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, anytime.
I need to do this before I finish them. So I went downstairs and to get some more of this Bush Light, and I found this Leinenkugel's, the peachy one. So I'm
Juicy
like,
peach.
yeah. So I'm like, I'm gonna taste them both and see which one I like better. And I've already opened them up, and I already have mine, which I like better. So you taste them and see which one you like better.
Look at Shannon doing beer
On-air
comparisons
beer
now.
tasting. I love
Right?
it. He's like, this one's terrible.
Let
Oh,
me
that
see
one's
here.
terrible. Oh,
I'm gonna
nope.
move Shannon and Todd to the main spotlight so they can give us their little
Woohoo.
beer comparisons here.
My choice,
Yeah,
Leinenkugel.
mine's Bush Light.
And it's not. No, I mean, if you'd done like a blind pour and like taste
Yeah.
one, to me the Leinenkugel has more of the peachy flavor.
It's too like it's too much. This one's much lighter and easier to drink, and that one's like just too much.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as far as
It's just preference. Yeah, I'd rather have this one. I mean, I like them both, but I prefer this one.
no,
I'll take
man,
the Trappist.
good, cutting.
What's the
cutting
ABV
grass or
on this
whatever.
one? Can you see?
You're saying Todd's is more bougie on the Leinenkugel?
Todd's way more bougie than me.
Wait, bougie
No
or
question.
boozy?
Bougie.
or
I'm more
boozy?
bougie. More bougie.
Ah,
Bougie.
Yeah, I'll just Google it.
Doesn't say.
You always say it doesn't say, and
I
then I
don't-
always find it.
What are you trying to find? ABV?
4.4%.
Okay, I think this one's like 4.2 or something.
hey, for the last meal, can you request a keg and not get killed till you finish it? Is that an
Sure.
option?
Sure, why not?
I want a whole keg, and as soon as that's done, that's the end of my last meal. I'll skip the food. I don't care. I'm good.
Yeah, screw the food.
But if you have a whole keg and you can get everybody else drunk,
And then you can escape.
There
you
we
can get
go.
the keys and get out. Yeah.
There we go. See, I'm getting the keg. I'm going with the keg.
No,
I got a plan B.
But see, you got with your Pliny, like my golden drock is 10.5. So I'll have some people laid out so I can step over them.
Oh, you just made me think of now. I'm like, I want the highest ABV of a beer that's ever been, so I won't even care if I'm getting ready to die.
You want like a
There we
snake
go.
venom? I think is snake venom still the highest at 67.5.
I think so.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I want.
I
want
think so.
snake
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
maybe go with the whatchamacallit from Sam Adams, the
Oh, Utopias.
Utopia. Yeah.
Yeah. 20, what's that, 28, 27, something?
Yeah.
Somewhere-
all
it's in the
that's going
20s.
down. I don't want
I'm
to
gonna
be
say
aware
like
of it.
24 and a half or something. I should
Yeah.
know because I drank the whole thing in one night. So
You wasn't scared, you know.
they all
I was
was.
getting ready to say
They
something.
all was, but I wasn't.
I was getting ready to say something, but I'm not going to say it.
When's that ever stopped you?
Oh, you don't want me to say it. I'll write it.
Wait a minute, Shannon's really censoring herself now.
Well,
Social
no,
Brewery
I'm
Crispy
taking
Light
people's
Lager.
feelings into consideration with this. If it
Gilbert,
was
you're killing me. You're killing me, Gilbert, with the light lagers.
28%, Rod.
28. Yeah, I knew it was in the 20 something. Yeah. well, shit. Yeah. Damn, I keep fat fingering my letters though. Yeah, they didn't make bigger keyboards.
the night you drank that, was that the same night that happened?
Beers. Oh yeah, it could happen. You know,
In the kitchen floor here.
Yeah.
unless somebody steals my idea and writes the story now that I've given them the head start on.
Yeah, there we go.
Like the lady that said she wrote the Matrix, but then they got taken by the Wachowski brothers, which I don't know how full that was, but yeah, you never know.
You don't.
Bringing a Carlin Black label, bud. All right, so you got rid of the light. You're going to step it up. There you go. 30-pack of hams will cost you $16.99 at participating Target locations. Yeah.
Now you're
There
talking.
you go.
I
Yeah.
think JT might have been in sales too.
Yeah.
Participating Target locations in Chicagoland area.
Which now for all you Target shoppers out there, Target's under fire for a
It's
backlash.
Target.
What?
What'd you
Did we
say,
talk
Ryan?
about that earlier? Target's under fire now for a
What'd they do?
backlash.
Oh, the t-shirts and
The
stuff.
T-shirts, all that they're
that
pulling all
was
the Pride
funny.
stuff. Yeah. No, they're pulling all the Pride stuff because
Wait.
the
They're
employees are being
pulling it?
threatened. Yeah, employees are being threatened by people coming into
Oh.
stores.
I've seen TikToks on that where the lady walked in and was trying to talk to the manager. Well, when she kept, I was like, he doesn't have to talk to you. Why does he want to talk to you? You're just gonna badger him anyway. Like he has no say of what's being on display.
I understand that because they're just trying to protect their employees.
They said
I
it for
get-
safety reasons. That's why they're pulling it and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, and I could
Which-
see that after seeing that video. I was like, what?
Yeah. Of
People
course,
are
June
so
1st is the
disgusting.
beginning of Pride Month, so it'll be kind of interesting. It's just like, I'm not going to get political on the show because we're trying to keep it around the beer and stuff, but it's just interesting some of this stuff that we're seeing right now, like
I
seeing
don't
stuff
like
out of, I don't know, it's weird. It's just a weird time right now with some things.
People are just so freaking
Dude,
sensitive.
I shared a video on Facebook today that Taxman cometh, that it was a softball game for these girls for high school, right, or whatever, and the pitcher threw a pitch, and the ump called it a ball, and they walked in a run. Well, then the coach comes out to the pitcher, like they have a mound visit,
I saw
to
it
talk
today.
about it, then comes back out, and the next pitch, the pitcher throws it, the catcher moves, and it bangs the ump in the head. And it's like, what are people like doing out there now that have this craziness out there?
So they planned it, you think?
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah,
they
no,
definitely planned it.
no,
Oh yeah,
no,
they planned it. It's on
now.
my
And it's a
Facebook
Little
thing.
League game?
it was right after.
Like like high school or whatever.
It might have been high school. Yeah.
Yeah, she threw like a underhand like fastball, whatever, and the
She threw a
the
fastball
catcher
and
moved and just
kept
hit the
moving.
up in the head, and the ump
Yeah.
like walked over like he was heading towards their bench or whatever. But it's just like, what are you and like? What are these people teaching your kids that you're giving control to over this stuff? It's just the
Hate is
world's
taken
crazy
over.
right now.
That's the problem.
That was a lot of the comments I saw. I was like, what, if you're teaching them to do that, what are you doing? Like, what are you
Yeah.
teaching them outside of that?
Do you
Like,
think
what
that they taught? Do you think?
Oh, they definitely did.
no,
They
the
had a
coach
visit.
The mound,
Yeah.
not
Yes,
the umpire. I was thinking the umpire.
No, the coach told him to do that. Yeah.
Catcher
Wow.
would hit the umpire for that.
So I'm just like,
That's not the first time I've seen that happen either. That's not the first time.
I feel like every day, like I think I try to give humanity an optimistic look, and then something else comes out, and it's like, nope, you're still fighting an uphill battle.
yeah, you got a long way to climb.
That's true. That's true, Rod. I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying there. But
So-
if you need to keep that optimism, because it's like if you let all them people that are doing that bad stuff affect you to think there's no hope, then you'll become one of them.
Like Jesse Jackson, keep hope alive. What'd you say now?
Rod, when you started talking about T-shirts getting pulled from Target, I thought you were talking about, and I realized it was Walmart actually that had a recycling shirt that got pulled.
No,
Did
I
you
didn't
hear
know
about
about
that?
that. I didn't hear about that one.
So
no.
they came out with this recycling shirt, and it had RE for right, at first, and then it had what was it? It was recycle, reuse, renew, rethink. So the RE stayed the same, but it had cycle, use, new, and think. And unfortunately, those 4 words in that order, it was CUNT.
God.
And because people noticed that the words they used in that order spelled a bad word up and down on the shirt, they all got pulled from Walmart, and it was like this big thing where Walmart got in all this trouble. And I was like, I thought that was the funniest thing ever, and I want this shirt so bad. And apparently you can still purchase it. So, yeah. Yeah, it was recycle, reuse, renew, rethink. And it was spelling naughty words up and down on the shirt. I thought it was hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Oh, humanity does not disappoint yet again.
People just want a great thing.
People want to worry about
That's the
everybody
funny
else.
thing,
But
is that
themselves.
the shirt wasn't intended to be problematic, but somebody noticed that it spelled a bad word, and everyone freaked out. And Walmart had
Had
to
a
pull them all.
Facebook group, and they got it.
But it wasn't like the letters were like colored anywhere like that, right? It was just a regular
No,
lettering. So it's like
peanut butter.
do you do
that would
screen
go to
share-
the that would
Rob,
go
can
to the
you do
thinking.
Screen sharing?
Okay.
Yeah, if you put it up there, I can pull it up.
I got it up there right now.
I don't have it. You have to share it to the.
Oh, I don't know how.
When you have it, you have to choose to share a screen on yours because it should pop in the bottom of my thing.
I'm not technically skilled enough to do a thing.
Can you just like through Messenger and then he can post it?
Let me see if
I can screenshot it and message it to you.
Or you have the link, you can put it in the private thing. I can try to pull it up there too.
Oh yeah, okay.
There's a
I'll do
solution
that.
to every problem. Almost.
Oh wow, that's a really long link. Let's see.
That's
Private
what she
chat. No, it's not.
Oh my, yeah,
I shared the link
go
in the
with
private chat, but this is a
Okay.
different website. It's not Walmart, but this is exactly what the shirt was.
I was looking on to see if I could find it. I found another shirt that says Rope Tree Journalist.
Oh,
That was
What is
nuts.
did it
It
pull it
says-
proper or no?
what does that even mean?
Like hang a journalist, like that was on a Walmart site. Rope tree journalist. Like journalists should be hung.
That woke.
No. Shannon's like what?
Whatever.
Did the link work?
Yeah, let me take a look here.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
let me pull it up.
But I see the shirt and I still laugh because I kind of want one. I think
I'm like,
that's funny as heck.
Yeah. I'm like, if you wear it though, it's like I am a CUNT, or am I saying you're a CUNT?
It's not obvious at all. I mean, like someone really thought too hard.
It's an
about this
inside
shirt.
joke.
Yeah.
No. Recycle, reuse, renew, rethink. CUNT.
Oh my god!
It's not obvious at all, but somebody got
What
pissed
kind of
and they had to
lunatic
pull
would
it.
sit there and come up with that?
No kidding.
I don't know who's thinking that hard about the C word.
I would have
come up
never
with
even
that.
thought
Like,
about that by seeing it. No kidding.
I know, right? But yeah, that was the shirt.
Yeah.
That was what got pulled off of Walmart shelves.
See, I wouldn't even realize. I would be like, I would think that RE.
That's the case of with people with too much time on their hands.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy.
Oh,
As
Jesus.
you try to
It still
figure
makes
out
me
people
chuckle, though.
nowadays.
Because
God, don't even try.
the attention that came from that getting pulled from the shelves was bigger than if no one had said anything.
You're right.
know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Got EB in the house. Cheers, my friend. We were playing a little Call of Duty earlier. Rosewood Triple is outstanding as well. Yeah.
cheers, Eric.
Yeah, we were trying to figure it out. He's like, Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill.
Oh, Jonah
is
Hill.
solid. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did. Say
Yeah.
that. I think I called him Jonas. Though.
Yeah.
Good. Leo loves Robin and Craig.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
yes.
what did you see? Al Pacino is about to have, I think it was Al Pacino, about to have a kid.
No.
Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro. He's like 70 something, almost 8.
I don't understand that. Like women's eggs deplete, but men's sperm still continues to work. No
That's
matter.
right. That's right. That's right. That's
But-
Don't
right.
be proud of that.
That's
But I'm kind of like,
Oh, I'm gonna say.
Hail to the king, baby.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be a king without a little blue pill. That wouldn't travel to where it needs to go if you weren't medically.
Maybe, maybe not. Just know.
His
name is John C. In the WWE
You can't see me.
I take that back because I work with the elderly, and I take that last statement
Some of
back.
those guys are primed and ready.
Especially when Shannon's around.
No,
Right?
not me. Maybe back in the day, not no more. They got younger ones to look at now.
I've
I'm
got
totally
balls
fine
of
with.
steel.
Do you really have all of those sound effects just at your fingertips ready to go? Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. You got to
It's the
be.
real deal. The real deal.
You got to because that's what makes me.
Oh my god.
The golden boy. The golden boy.
Yeah, baby.
Oh my goodness.
That might be pretty good.
That'll be delicious.
Who needs a reminder of 1991?
Oh, don't do the sound. Don't do the sound.
On the internet.
Oh
That
god.
sound was awful. Oh, it's still going. Make it stop.
I'm trying to stop it there.
This
I was
one
actually trying to do another one, but I think my other one got screwed up there. But I don't know
That
why.
one's pouring out. That one's much more yellow, and this one's much more light.
Because it is a lot
That's
later.
what she said.
Whoa.
That's
Is this
true.
a piss test or something? What's going on here?
No, I was
I mean, sort of.
I was sitting here with these two beers, and I was like, what if I put them together in a cup? And so I started to pour them both into a cup because I'm like, this one's good.
It was a piss test.
It was. It
This
still
one's
is.
got much more color than that. Just saying.
Ben Affleck in The Town was actually pretty solid. That was a good movie.
That was a good
The
one.
Town was pretty good. Yeah.
Never saw it.
Matt Damon and Rounders, solid as well.
Oh,
Oh,
that
wow.
was good. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love rounders. I
Yeah.
love rounders.
Fried bologna and Miller Lite. Now Gilbert's got the
Jesus
menu
Christ.
rocking and rolling.
Now you're talking, EG. Now you're talking.
Let's get all up in the trailer on that one, son.
Oh, boy.
Death Row beer, 32 ounce still reserve. You're gonna need a minute to finish that, but yeah. I don't think. Why would you ever want to do a 32 ounce still reserve though?
Because you're on death row and you want the biggest.
Why would
Maybe
you
you
want
do-
that for your last
Maybe you do Mad Dog if you're on death row because it's gonna take you a
Maybe.
while to
Yeah,
finish
that's what I
it.
was going to say. That's
Hey,
what I was gonna
maybe
say.
y'all shouldn't be so judgmental. That's all I'm
Maybe
saying.
I'll do a bottle of whiskey instead.
Maybe, yeah. I want to go Janis Joplin. Give me some Southern Comfort, son. I'm going Janis Joplin up in this biatch. Actually, a different question for sure. Gilbert said, yeah.
No, I do.
An A's, Stingo, or Hardy. That's what Gilbert would have. He loves the Hardy. I got to still do a Hardy beer, Hardy Wood beer out of Canada. I do have a place here that does get them now. Anything de Dole or de Brasserie de Blage from Belgium to start with. You can't go wrong with a Belgian ale. Death Row.
Do I like Belgian? I feel like I like Belgian beers.
But can you drink the Death Row beer while listening to Chronic that was done on Death Row Records?
And then to who?
I listen to the Chronic on Death Row.
I feel
'Cause
like
you're on
it's a
death
little
row.
on the
I feel like-
nose.
I like that some Death Row music if I'm on Death Row, please.
Might as
Thank
well,
you.
right?
Oh God,
They
now
don't
that's
eat-
a good. Oh,
Goes hand in hand.
what song would you want to listen to? If you were had to pick a song to listen to on death row, what would it be?
On the Chronic was a classic.
No, I think she just means death row in
No.
general.
Death
If
Row
you
in
were
general.
ready
Not
for
the.
your last song, like the last song, like if you got to have a last meal, last beer, and a last song, what song would you pick?
Put a little CC.
I just heard Chew from downstairs going, sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. I literally heard him singing that downstairs.
Oh my God, I could see him doing that too.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
If you're on death
I can't
row,
beat that one. I can't beat that one.
put on CCR looking out the front door or something.
I want the entire discography of Aerosmith and Grateful Dead because those discographies will last forever. So
One song now, one song.
no,
You're trying to draw this out as long as
Of
possible.
course I am. I'm waiting for the governor.
Well, if
to
you're going
call.
if you're going long as possible, why not Stairway to Heaven? Because I mean, you're on death row, so Stairway to Heaven would be a good one.
No, I'd
actually,
hit up Iron
That'd be
Butterfly
never
first,
ending.
man.
Well, Stairway to
Or
Heaven is
November
longer.
Rain,
Stairway to Heaven is longer.
or the 10-minute version of
Stairway to
all
Doing
Heaven
the
is
extended-
longer than
Well
Iron
For-
Butterfly.
I thought it was
The-
14 minutes if you play the extended version of
I know.
Stairway to
I
Heaven.
thought Iron Butterfly was like 22 minutes.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe
not
it is.
Iron Butterfly is the band, the song, but shit, I can't remember the name of the song. Oh, I hate that.
Climbing
favorite songs do
the
not work.
stairway
At all.
to heaven.
Oh, Inagata Devita.
Oh, that is a long song. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
That's what
But
she
I
just.
don't-
I think that's what she just said. The longest song.
Yeah.
was
Yeah, that's what-
17 minutes.
That's,
Oh.
yeah, that's what JT
Inagata
said.
Devita was 17 minutes.
So just barely past Stairway to Heaven, really. But
Yeah.
it could work.
I
It
don't
could
like
be a
to prolong
contender.
your pain. I'm like, just get it over with. Just get me out.
Shine would be like,
I'm waiting for all that liquor to kick in so that I don't feel nothing.
Shine will be there like, y'all need me to get up there and pull the switch? I'll get up and pull the
Yeah,
switch if
I'm
I
like,
need
I've
to.
been sitting here for 30 years waiting, like, just thinking
Oh.
about this. Like, I'm tired of thinking about it. Just get it over with.
Shine's song would be Drop It Like It's Hot.
Yes,
Yes.
please, I'm ready.
Just so you know, Chu just started singing Sweet Caroline at the top of his lungs downstairs as well.
Ugh.
Well, then you'd have the whole jail singing along with you. So it'd be a nice
Yeah.
little way to go out. Yeah.
Yeah. But he also knows that I kind of despise that song on several levels. So
How can
yeah,
you despise Sweet Caroline? That's just like
No,
a come
I-
together type song.
it got overplayed for me.
It's white
it was
people
overplayed
anthem.
for me, and it broke me. I couldn't stand it.
White people anthem.
Or my brother's case.
I went to West Virginia, Shannon. How long do you think I've heard Country Roads my whole life? So
What'd you say?
I went to school at I went to school at West Virginia, WVU. How many times do you think I've heard Country Roads my whole life?
God.
See, I just thought how fun it would be. They're like, "Hey, what last song do you want to hear?" And some guy in the down in another cell is like, "Free bird," because that would happen. That
I
would
do like
happen.
Yeah, no.
Come on.
You know, drop the
Free
lights and everybody.
bird!
They dropped the lights.
Okay,
Everybody's
let's
holding
just
lighters up. They're just holding the lighters up
Yeah.
as you're sitting there waiting to die. Yeah.
Actually, I do like the Sweet Caroline because I wanted to see if everybody in the whole cell be going, pom, pom, pom,
No,
you know.
they
And all the fists
Just-
at the bars.
yes, like, I'm going to die, and you all are cheering for it. So,
Maybe it'd be New Edition, Mr. Telephone Man, because you want him to call. So it's like,
I don't want them to call. I'm like, okay, get it over already.
We'll switch. Long
Please,
enough.
Jesus.
Oh,
Can we stop talking about
if it's electric chair, I want the night the lights went out in Georgia.
oh, there you go. What about
Hoping
Peter?
for a power outage?
Peter Gabriel shocked the monkey. Don't you know you're gonna shock?
Or how many would suggest I shot the sheriff?
Oh,
That would
there
be
you
a
go.
clever one. I like that
That
one.
would be awkward.
Sheriff.
I mean, you could go into F the police, of course, if you
Oh,
wanted.
Yeah,
that
you
would
could
be
go into that
better.
too. Yeah,
You
yeah.
could go
yeah.
that direction if you wanted to.
I don't know. I'd feel bad for playing that song because there might be one good sheriff in there, and I wouldn't want to hurt his feelings.
She's going to die, so it wouldn't matter.
It
Wouldn't
wouldn't
matter.
matter. To be alive still.
But he would remember you.
Yeah.
Well, that probably wouldn't be a good memory either.
A lot of prog rock songs are 20 minutes longer. I didn't even hear prog rock before. I'd request Isaac Hayes' Essentials and I have another 2 months of life. He has some long songs. Yeah, Isaac Hayes did. Yeah.
Ugh.
I want to hear the Ring Cycle from Wagner. That's going to be 20 hours. That's going to buy me a lot of time for the governor to call.
That'd be longer than Rise of the Valkyrie. That's sure. Yeah. And
Well,
would
that
last for
was
a
just
while.
one piece of that. That was out of the
Yeah.
third section. I mean, if you do all 4 sections, each one is 4 hours long, and it's all
That's
one
a
piece of
long time to
music,
be sitting in
so
that chair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
If I had to think of a classical music song that gets you hyped, I don't know if I can come up with anything more than Rise of the Valkyries. I feel like that's like the song when you hear it, you're just like, you start feeling that energy build up when you're hearing that put
No,
together.
there's dun 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 dun
Yeah,
It's a Western song.
that's Bad News Bears.
Or Bad News
Oh.
Bears. That's what I was going to
We
say. It's
got
like,
right
or
to
the Bad
pick a
News
little
Bears.
That's Bad News
gotta
Bears.
like
That's what they play.
We got
Yeah.
right to pick a little fight. Bonanza. If any of us wants to start, you gotta fight with me.
They would just play the
You're
lyrics.
you're close enough. Close enough.
What is that?
The sound of it, I don't know.
To pick a little fight, bonanza. What's the words?
So I looked up the longest song in the Guinness Book of World Records is 13 hours and 23 minutes.
Oh,
What
I
song
want
is
that
that?
one.
What song is it?
The Rise and Fall of Bossa Nova.
Bossa Nova.
BOSSANOVA.
Who
What's
could play a
Bossa
long
Nova?
for? Who could play a song for 13 hours or 20?
I know, right? But I'm like, I'm gonna listen to that one if you want to, write it now.
I mean, do you have
Yeah, they
backups in
probably
case of you got a pee
yeah, they
break?
probably
You got someone
traded
that's
out
playing the same
musicians.
instrument? Like, yeah.
Right.
No, they
Yeah.
probably traded out musicians. Like every 2 hours, they would have a new guitarist come in, and then the next hour,
Yeah.
a new piano player would come in, and they like rotated out people to get the song as long as possible.
I still don't understand why y'all want to prolong the
I feel like that was like an Oktoberfest
I'm giving
or
the
something.
governor extra time to read all of his
you
email.
are more of an optimist than me.
Yeah.
I feel like if he gets far enough in his email, he might catch up.
I was like, is that the phone? Is that the governor? Is that the governor
Yeah.
on the
That's self-torture at its finest right there.
Shout out to
The
Shark.
longest song ever.
Cheers, Shark. Great to have you on, my friend. Another great channel. Check out Shark Home Brewing.
Oh, I love his logo. That is cute.
Oh, Sharks? Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
He spells out the
Ooh,
word with
that
the.
is. It looks
I
like
love
the Norman.
that.
Have you been on Shark's channel before?
I haven't
Do you know
been on
Shark?
Shark's
Yeah, check
channel
out
before.
Shark Home Brewing's got some good stuff there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to now.
Check out Shark.
To pick a little fight.
Beethoven's Ninth Symphony is a favorite of mine.
It is
It's
pretty-
classic.
Any of us who wants to, any
Oh, that
one of
loop.
us who starts a little fest knows he can count on me. That's the line.
Count on me for what?
Bonanza.
Success.
Oh, Bonanza.
God, I can't see. So the moment's over.
Bonanza. Well, y'all keep. I need to get a beer, so y'all. I did drink my second beer, by the way, while we were talking. I never brought it up, but it was the funky.
Okay,
Nuggets.
if you wanted to steer it back to the beer, I have a question about beer.
Well, y'all can ask the question. You ask the question to them while I get a beer, and I'll come back and answer when
Can
I
you
come
hear
back.
me while you're getting a beer?
I will take my headphones off, but you can ask them, and you can just tell me when I come back.
Oh, well, hopefully I will get it right when I repeat it. But
Where's the notebook? Where's the notebook? I told you to
Right
have.
here, I
the-
wrote it
She's got it written down.
What if you wrote it down? You're good to go. You won't forget.
Right.
you have a lot of faith in me.
Of course I do. Of course. I
Anyway,
do.
go get your beer, Rod.
Okay.
Quit stalling, Rod. Quit stalling.
Okay, so you know how like when so you've had like you go to a fast food restaurant and you're like, oh my god, that was so good, and then you're sitting at home like a month or so later and you're like, oh my god, I really want one of those fish sandwiches from McDonald's because they're so good, and then you go and get that fish sandwich and it's like dry and disappointing and it's not as good as you thought it. You remembered it? You see what I'm getting at?
That's your question.
So the question is, the beer you want, you couldn't wait to get your hands on again. You were like, this is the best beer ever. But then you had it and you're like,
Not so much.
this is not as good as I remembered it to be, and I'm disappointed.
Mm.
What beer would that be?
That's a good question.
Oh,
That's a really good question.
Well, I ain't no doubt about that.
Yeah.
actually, that's a hard one.
That is a hard one.
Huh?
My mind.
It's a lot to
She
place in
gave
it.
it. She gave it
Beers,
a
though.
number.
All right, I'm gonna go help Rod find a beer. I'll be right back. No, I got it.
She throws out a question, then disappears.
That is.
Yeah, that's tricky because I mean, a lot of places have enough quality control that you get pretty much the same thing each time, but it doesn't always work that way.
But I've had so many beers through the years. Like, can
I
I pick
know.
one that I was like, I feel like I can, but I can't think of none off the top of my head. Now I have to go back through and scroll and tap just to see. Maybe. At least maybe point me in the direction. There, let's-
I mean, I haven't tried the new recipe for Fat Tire, but Fat Tire was my crossover beer, so maybe that would be it. I haven't tried it yet though, so I don't know. But I'm
haven't either.
scared to try it.
So, Rod, her question, did you hear it?
I did not.
Do what? Oh, never mind. She said let her ask it, so you got to wait for her to come back.
Okay. Oh, the Celtics won tonight. It's gonna be
Wow.
interesting.
This Trappist has so much sediment on the bottom; it's like ridiculous.
Mel, have you ever had that one before?
You know, this might be my first time having the Trappist actually.
They have like a 6, an 8, and a 10. I think is what they have.
Okay,
This is a 10,
Yeah.
and it's an 11.3
I'm
ABV.
human.
Yeah.
I'm human.
All of them are very good.
So did you come up with
Sorry.
an answer now?
I don't know. Oh, okay.
Huh?
Did you come up with an answer?
Sorry.
I
That's
think
perfect.
so, but
Okay.
yeah.
Well, let me
He's
ask
talking about
Rod.
shark attacks.
Rod.
I'm laughing at Shark because he's talking about shark attacks. He said, "My cousin gave me a bad rap lately." What was the question?
Love it.
The question is, Rod. I think Rod will relate to the intro to that question more than you two.
No team
probably did.
monitor, right?
So,
Go ahead.
so Rod, do you ever say you go to McDonald's or something and you have?
I don't think you have to do the.
Well,
just
I'm
ask
going
the
to
question.
anyway. So,
Yeah, you missed out, Rod. So here we go.
you go to McDonald's and you have your favorite, say, fish sandwich is your favorite. You go and you get it, and it's like they cooked it perfectly. It was so good. And then you're like, you appreciate it, and you're like, this is so good. And then so you go about your life, and then a couple of months later, you're like, oh my God, I want another one of those fish sandwiches. And you go back, and you're like, this is going to be the best fish sandwich ever. You go back, and you get the fish sandwich, it's dry, and it's awful. And you're disappointed. So my question is there a beer that you had, and you're like, this is so good, and then later on, you're like, I can't wait to get that beer again, and then you get it, and you were disappointed. It wasn't as good as you thought it was going to be.
Interesting. Okay.
Right? I know.
Oh yeah.
So
we
for
were
me-
stumped a little.
I always try to drink different beers. I rarely try to go back and have a beer I've had previously.
Right. Right.
The ones I have gone back are usually pretty good. They're still usually pretty solid. Nothing's changed with them.
You could say not applicable.
So pass. Pass.
I don't think I've had one that I went back to and it was like
Not
it
what
was
you're-
terrible. I know Mal mentioned the New Belgium. I haven't tried the New Belgium new one
Yeah.
yet. I haven't tried the
I'm
Sam Adams new one
scared.
because Sam Adams changed theirs as well.
I'm scared to go back to the Fat Tire because they changed
It's not
the
the
recipe.
same. It's a
And
different. Yeah.
Fat Tire was my crossover beer. That was my baby. That I like. That made all the world to me, and
I
I'm
feel like
terrified to try the new one.
I feel like that was a lot of people's crossover beer was Fat Tire.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the people that I've seen talk about it were like, they should have just said it's a new beer and new stuff, not try to keep the same name on it.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
And change the name of it. Yeah.
that's a good question. I don't think I actually have had one that I went back to.
Like that. That's why I asked that question.
Yeah. Yeah. See, but you like the same stuff.
But
like
you're
you like the
different.
routine.
I am.
You're
I-
different.
Yeah.
You're right.
So with me, I'm always trying different beers I haven't had before that,
Right.
you
so
know,
you
I
don't,
went,
usually
I don't
don't
really,
go back.
I don't usually go back to one. I mean, there's stuff I'll pick up, like, you know, if I get like the Waldos or some of like the New Holland, Dragon's Milk, and they're always usually pretty much the
But
same. Like they're
I was
pretty
gonna
much
say it's never a
dependable.
disappointment of like you know what you're getting.
Okay.
Sort of.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
So
so to try to make it more relatable. So do you have a brewery around your house or around where you live or wherever you live that you go to that they only make that beer and you have it and then you go to that brewery and you have that beer, and then you go around, you're like, God, I need to go back there and have that beer again. And then you go back and you have that beer again, and you're like, it's not as great as I thought it was.
No,
No,
no, I haven't really had that.
no, I haven't
As
had
well,
that happen
yeah.
either.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I went back,
Wasn't that
if they
great of a
didn't,
question?
if they still had it, I was too happy.
I think I think it was a good question. I think it was
Unrelatable.
I got something for that too. I
Wah,
got the
wah, wah. No.
I got the
The
But
theme
I
of
don't-
my life.
I don't think it was a bad question. I think it's just more pertains to people that might drink the same common beers.
Right.
So
Right.
if you're doing something
Yes.
like I'm doing here, or maybe what Mal's doing there, it's kind of like if you're always trying to. My goal with the channel, what I've done is to try to go out and taste every beer I could possibly taste that's
Yeah.
different. So I don't usually repeat. Like some of the channels, you'll see them do re-examinations. I've never done a re-examination on my channel.
Oh.
I'm like, with so many beers that are out there, why do I want to go back and revisit?
What's the
Right.
point
And
of doing
there's
yeah.
no point of me actually doing that now.
And I try
Something
not
as
to
an
do that
ex-
too. So
Yeah, unless it's like an exception
I'm
to the
saying
rule
like-
where I would do like
all the beers I can have, you know.
I would do like a Bourbon County each year if I get it, but that's not the same because they do a new recipe each year.
Right.
So it's not re-examining what they've done previously. I just don't do re-examines. I'm like, there's too much beer out there. I don't need to go back and visit. You got one shot with me. You got one shot, dog. Don't fuck it up. You got one job to do. And so that's how I roll. Yeah. So, but I've had people tell me like some things have changed. Like I did a review. Oh, what beer was it? It was on. It was out of Dayton, Ohio. It was Warp Wing Gamma. I think it was their. I don't say Gamma Ray. It was their IPA they had, and a couple people have asked me to go back and actually check it out again. They thought the recipe had changed or whatever. I went back to actually try it, so it may have, but I just never get around to going back and doing that.
Well,
Rod, what beer did you get?
I actually just opened up another one of the slushy Sandy's Candies, which I'll be putting a review up here probably next week or so on. But
you're not even trying to get buzzed tonight, are you?
Well, based on what you gave me and how my glass looks now, I'm hitting the 450 North now.
There you go.
there you go. See, yeah.
Cheesecake is coming.
But well, talk about the beer. So tonight, for those that haven't watched the video yet, I released a review of the other half barrel aged Deep Orbit Vega. 16% ABV. So nice session ale. Oh my God. You talk about going on a little bit of a trip with other half. And people talk about other half always on the IPA side because that's what we're used to. Their stout game is on point. So I would say if you haven't checked out that video, check out that video because I would easily go ahead and get that one again. And I would put that up there against some of the Bourbon Counties, against some of the Big Bad Baptists, some of the other ones. That was one that was pretty solid.
You look good in purple.
That's right. I'm like Prince.
You look in purple. You look great in purple. Gotta say. Whew, that's a lot of scent on that.
Shout out to the purple one. Maybe I'm just like your father.
Oh wow! Oh, that's a whole lot of crazy going on in that one, and it does taste like a blackberry cheesecake, 100%.
Oh yeah, baby.
So, fun thing, Chicago has these pop-up bars that kind of exist for a little while and then they go away. But the one the one that Chu and I went to today is actually a Golden Girls pop-up bar.
Oh my God, you had to be in heaven.
He was. He wore his. He has a shirt that says it has Betty White's face on it, and on the side it says "Now Betty than ever." So he was very pleased to get to wear that. Our other friend dressed like Blanche, like she was in sequins and silk, like she fully out dressed up like Blanche. Yeah. We had a blast at the place, but they redecorate the entire inside of the place to look like the sets from the show. So
that's pretty cool.
The kitchen looked the same, and then there was the bedroom was there, and then the lanai was there, and so you could have like photo moments in all those places, and all the drinks were themed based on stuff from the show, and we had a really good time. So All the food as well. All the food was like stuff from the show, and it was, of course, dessert was all cheesecakes.
Of
And
course, of
so
course.
yeah, we had a really good time. If you are in the Chicagoland area, because I know a few of our folks are, check out some of the pop-ups because we did a Saved by the Bell one a few years ago, and I broke out the denim jacket, like we were rocking it. We looked totally 90s and everything, and then we did this one, so it was so much fun. And just to do something that's only there a couple months, and you can set up your reservations ahead of time. It costs a little bit
Yeah.
extra, true, but
But that's part of
it's
the
a fun
entertainment value,
experience.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't
and
Golden Girls spin off Empty Nest? That spun off of Golden Girls, I think, with Richard Mulligan.
did
Because
it?
he was
Because I
their
know
he was their
Golden
neighbor, I
Golden
think.
Palace spun off, but I didn't know about Empty
Yeah,
Nest.
Empty Nest was like because it was Richard Mulligan. I used to be back in the day growing up. I was a big Chrissy Nickel fan. She was one of the girls back in the 80s as a young teenage boy you looked up to, you kind of liked. And that was one of his daughters, but he was like in the same complex as the Golden Girls. Because
Oh, okay.
I think Blanche tried to hit on one at one point, but it kind of spun off of that and everything. But yeah, just popped in
Well,
my
that's
head thinking
funny.
about that show. Yeah.
And Chew, I know you're listening downstairs. If you want to taste this, because we hadn't actually tried the blackberry cheesecake before, if you want to come up and taste this, I just poured it. So come on up.
Come get some cheesecake, son. Let me get some more comments here.
Oh, yeah, we're a little behind.
So Shark has said right now, and I almost picked this up the other day when I was
Wow,
over at
he
one
got
of the
up here
stores.
really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Sierra Nevada Hoptimum. I almost picked that up at one of the stores I was at. So
That's
I
pretty
haven't
good.
had that in a bit. Yeah.
They're pretty good.
It's a tasty blackberry cheesecake.
And then we got Peggy in the house. Like she must have been at the club tonight. She must have been out
Yeah.
clubbing.
You
Like
wanna drink it?
I
Let's
just
give it
I
to
just
you.
got back in from the
You
club.
can
I
have me
check in with
something
you
else
guys. Always appreciate you, Peggy. And hopefully I didn't chance to see you last week, so hopefully you had a great Mother's Day as well too.
So sorry,
think
Rod. Chew just stole my beer.
That's not
He
allowed.
he took the blackberry cheesecake. He's taking it downstairs right now. He's
Is
switching
he bringing you
glasses.
something
He's
else?
bringing me he's going to bring me something else with your glass. So he's
Okay,
going to
because
swap glasses
Because
and
I was
stuff
gonna hit the
because
sound if he wasn't bringing you something.
yeah, he's going to bring me
Yeah.
something else, but he is definitely 100% stealing that cuz he loved it way too much.
Yeah, ask me your favorite beer or favorite child. I mean, it's like the same thing. Like for me, beer were my children. You know.
It changes on the day.
Yeah. Anything from New Belgium is suspect. Shark says. Yeah. Well, I mean, New Belgium, they're technically not craft anymore. I think they're under somebody now too that he took a
Yeah.
deal. So
Who's not anymore?
yeah. Hot Rod Red by Aviator. Who can't talk? Red Ale, notorious of not replicating the beers early on. And I'm thinking with the Hot Rod Red, as far as that's the one for the Death Row beer.
Mm.
Bingo
Mm.
Todd, speed it up.
I know. I'm sorry. You had.
Why did you
hear
pick
it
the
twice.
fish?
Y'all had
Why
to
did you
hear it
pick the
twice.
fish? The fish
Yeah.
at McDonald's is always awkward. I'm sorry.
The filet of fish,
I
yeah.
love it when it's good. It's
Why
good.
do you say like the
Bad,
when you say like the
bad.
McRib? Because the McRib's not there all the time, so McRib has to come back. You know.
I got my glass back.
Yeah. There you
Come
go.
on, dude. Say hi.
Did he bring you a beer to
And-
put in it?
Yeah, he brought me a Phase 3 German style Doppelbock.
Oh, nice. Another Phase 3 in the house tonight.
There you
Phase
go.
The
3.
can art looks like Crystal Light.
Phase 3 getting represented.
Crystal light.
Let me see here. I see if I can find something real quick. Give my homie a shout out if I can share his video. Bear with me here. There's a lot of shirts from the Walmart thing on my thing I looked at.
That's all you're
Oh.
gonna see.
If I can find this on here, I wanted to be able to share it.
The Doppelbock is roasty, toasty, malty, and it's so good. And it's an 8.2. So, woo.
I would have
All right,
totally
here we
gotten
go.
one of those. Had one of those.
I know.
One
It's
thing we've gotten
delicious,
from them
though.
so far is their IPAs.
Very well made. Their IPAs, but also their milkshake IPAs are a whole new level. They do this Chantilly series. So they have the Chantilly orange milkshakes, Chantilly pina colada milkshake. Like they have all these different ones, but they're so darn good. It's ridiculous. If you ever get
Ridiculous.
up here and actually visit us, I'm telling you, I will take you to phase 3 and you're going to love it.
No doubt. I like what I've had from
This,
so far.
this is me pulling the rope. Come on, guys. Come on. I got you.
You could do it. You could do it. Let me see here.
Oh boy.
What?
I drank too much.
So we'll give a shout out to my homeboy JV and get a little sponsor break in here if I can pull it up, because this is one of the best commercials that wasn't a commercial that was ever made in the world. Why they don't hire JV, I don't know. But if you haven't seen it,
if it's one I
sit
think
back.
it is, really, yeah, it is good.
Sit back. You're about to see something special. Are we ready? I think we're ready.
Oh God, McRib. Oh God,
Oh,
we've seen
you
this
know,
12 million times.
watching George's food reviews. Back at you today with another one. That's right, people. It was packed. It's always packed this time of year, just in time for the holidays. McRib is back. Johnny boy. McRib is back. Johnny boy. Won't be long. Limited time thing. Johnny boy. McRib is back. Johnny boy. Let's get right into it. It smells absolutely delightful. That barbecue sauce just steals the show. McRib is back. Johnny boy. McRib is back. Johnny boy. Won't be here long. Limited time thing. Johnny boy. McRib is back. Johnny boy.
Corn stash.
God.
I love it. Best fast food barbecue sandwich your money can buy. Say what you will about the processed patty, whatever. McRib is back. Johnny boy. McRib is back. Johnny boy. Won't be here long. Limited time thing. Johnny boy. McRib is back. Johnny boy.
Oh my God.
That is so good. That is so good.
Oh.
Shout out to my homeboy JV. Y'all check out JV's Hangout. Shout out to John and Nilly there. Shout out to Alex, the beer master. That's just classic. And McDonald's should be contacting JV. That's a good advertising right there. I don't know why he hasn't gotten a call yet, but he should. I mean, well produced, well directed, and everything.
I'm waiting for the one with the curtains. That's what I'm waiting for.
JV is awesome. Y'all been checked out JV's Hangout, Jeremy Vincent. Check him out. He's always got great stuff happening. So, let me see here. Get some of the other comments. Sam Adams lager disappointing. I haven't had the new Sam Adams lager since they made the change. So maybe something where they made a change like that or Fat Tiger, I can kind of do a revisit because of the new formula. So maybe I'll make an exception to see those. We do have the Fat Tire here. I just never picked it up. Sam Adams, he's unremaster the new like go backwards. Go back to the future. You may get that feel because of whom you're drinking with and the occasion.
Very true.
Yeah. What BCS is not the same each year? I was lied to. Yeah. Yeah, they changed it up. At least, yeah. I mean, that's what they say. They changed it up.
Supposedly, yeah.
I love most new Belgian products. IPAs are awesome. I almost thought Big Daddy said moist new product. Like, whoa, what is going on here? But it's most. I almost read that wrong.
Yeah,
Almost- yeah. I mean, I like the Voodoo Ranger series they actually do. So I think the last one I had was a Juice Force, was pretty decent.
yeah, that's a good series. That is a good one.
Actually, on my videos, one of the highest rated ones is that people watch has been the one of the Ranger videos from New Belgium. The original was good. I think that's the one it was as well. Juice Force is badass. Big Daddy does put on some Juice Forces. Drinking the Last Generator Doppelbock by Metropolitan Brewing. That's another one in Chicago, I think, too, right? Like I've heard.
Metropolitan was in that
Okay.
first one, the Brewers Triangle, where it was 30
Oh.
different breweries. Metropolitan.
Yeah. And I've heard about them before as well. Hashtag JV rocks, right? Yeah, Shark knows JV. All the Voodoo Rangers are solid for me. Been a while since I had any voodoo stuff. McRib beer.
Whoa.
Give it
Oh, there
give
we
it
go.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Oh,
yeah, somebody will
God.
come up with one.
you float that
Oh.
out there, it may happen. I mean, they've had hot dog beer, so
Well, okay.
which we
so
watched the hot dog video last week.
I have to share. Not this previous weekend, but the weekend before, we did a beer fest. One of the tables was a homebrew shop, so they had the people who were selling homebrew equipment, right? But they had a jockey box. They had 3 beers on, and one of their customers asked to come along with them. And the customer brought his own jockey box with 4 beers that he made using their equipment, their materials, right? One of them was a hot dog beer. This hot dog beer,
Ugh.
if you closed your eyes and sniffed the beer, you smelled mustard, onions, sweet relish, and a saltiness that smelled like hot dog. And it was the craziest thing that Chu and I had ever experienced. We were like, it's insane. And then you taste it, it tastes just like the condiments on a Chicago dog, right? Onions, sweet relish, and mustard. That's kind of what's expected. I prefer ketchup and dill relish myself, but that's the Chicago dog way, right?
Yeah.
So it was just craziness, and we thought this was amazing. So I asked the guy, and he agreed to give us the recipe. So he met up with me at Liquid Love Brewing Company, and he gave Chu and I the homebrew recipe for this beer. So we have the homebrew right now, and we're like, this should be the first beer we ever make at home. I think this will be a good choice to start. So yeah, we have the recipe for a hot dog, a Chicago dog beer, which is kind of exciting.
So you
for
liked
me.
it?
Oh yeah, it was excellent. It was really good. It's so weird though to be drinking something that tastes like something you should chew. Like it's very, it's slightly unnerving to be drinking a thing that you feel like you should be chewing during.
Yeah.
It was a little awkward, but we're so excited to actually like attempt to make it. It's a blonde ale with all the condiments and stuff in it. So
was Chu like was Chu like I'm drinking myself because he's thinking about chewing, but he's Chu, so he's drinking.
Dad joke.
Wow.
Yeah,
you need your sound effect for that one for sure.
But I feel like in Chicago, because you're a baseball town, it could be something that has a good appeal because
so apparently
pairing that with a hot dog watching a baseball game.
The guy who I was talking to who made the beer, him and his dad made the beer. They've come to the same beer fest each year with that beer, and they get a line that's like 30 people long waiting to try this one beer every time, and they've done it for 6 years in a row. So I was really shocked that he was willing to just hand over the recipe to us. That was super nice of him. But yeah, it was amazing. So because he is not he doesn't have a brewery or anything. He just makes it for fun and does events sometimes. But it was the Schaumburg Ballpark Brew Fest, and it was really, really fun. And I love that he shared that with people and shared us the recipes. So
that's one of the cool things about the beer community is the sharing that takes place for a lot of stuff.
Right?
Yeah. And the helping out and everything. So he said very few people know this and don't spread it around because they could get you cooked, but McRib is not pork, it's people. Oh, what was that movie?
Soylent Green.
Soylent Green. Yeah.
Soylent
there
Green.
you go.
Yep.
Yeah. McRib is back China
Wait,
Boy?
what was it?
The
No,
Johnny
what-
Boy. It was Johnny Boy.
What was the? No, it was Twilight Zone. It was To Serve Man, right?
Attaboy.
The Twilight Zone episode.
There was an
Twilight Zone
episode
To
when he was
Serve
cooking
Man.
people. When he was cooking people.
No, they were
In a
taking them
rest-
back in the spaceship to live on their planet, and
Hmm.
they had a book that was like To Serve Man, and once they translated it, once they were already on the ship to go there, it was To Serve Man with butter. You know, like To
Yeah.
Serve Man as a dish, rather.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, there was a movie that was back in, I want to say, the 90s, and I don't know if it was like one of the Twilight Zone remakes or if it was kind of, it wasn't a Tales from the Crypt, but it was something. But basically, they had a restaurant and they were trying to. Everybody came from town because the food was always so good, the meat was always so good, and nobody knew what the recipe and stuff was. Well, somebody ended up getting in there and discovering they were actually cooking human people. So everybody was eating people. And I can't remember what the movie was. I feel like it was like one of the Twilight Zones, like that, everything. Yeah, and it was like
I
actually
do
people they
remember
were
that.
serving. Yeah.
well, Demon Barber of Fleet Street, Sweeney Todd, a musical, was all about the barber would kill the people up in his barber shop, and then they would make them into meat pies down in the bakery
Yeah.
below. So, and
Meat
Cannibal
pies.
the Musical. Have you seen Cannibal the Musical? Tell me, someone's seen Cannibal. the
I have
Musical.
not seen
Yeah.
Cannibal.
It was made by the guys who made South Park before they made South Park.
Oh,
They did
okay.
an entire musical of this guy out in the woods, and he was singing about how he was a cannibal and he was hunting for people to eat. And it was so freaking ridiculous. I can't remember what platform I found it on, but it's called Cannibal the Musical. And if you haven't seen it, these guys have been funny for a really long time. They've done a lot of stupid stuff. This will make you just belly chuckle the whole time because it's so stupid, but it's so funny. So, Cannibal the Musical by the guys who came up with South Park. So
was like
freaking funny.
Matt something and Trey Stone. I know it is South Park.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That was them, and they self filmed and directed all of this with the actors and stuff, and it's so ridiculously stupid, but I love it so much because it's I can't even tell you how dumb it is, but I love it.
Yeah.
Good songs too. They did a nice job on the songs.
Hashtag JV rocks. Yes, JV does. Sorry, I love JV's commercials. Yeah, he's got great talent there and stuff. And the music stuff that JV's doing has been pretty awesome as well. Big Days of F and funny. It doesn't die. He did that like maybe I think like a couple years ago. It still just seems like you could still just watch that and still crack up. Like it's still like every McRib season that should be rolled out like a
You're
McRib
right,
commercial.
yeah.
I mean, McDonald's should pay him to take that commercial over. If I knew somebody at McDonald's, I would say, this is the guy you need to hire for your commercials. I would let them know.
Right, yeah.
Should just send it to like Ellen DeGeneres or something.
Ooh, there you go.
Does she still have a show?
Well,
I
she's
don't know.
retired at some point. I think the show's still on, but I think she's
Send
leaving.
it to like
Sure,
Kelly
she's got, like,
Clarkson. One of
Yeah.
them
YouTube
still
channel or-
has a thing.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned that. Actually, one of my college friends, he actually produces. I think I have two college friends that produce shows and stuff out in California. Though right now, not the best time because the writers are on strike.
Right.
But they may.
Yeah,
some
do not
people,
send it
yeah.
until they're not on strike.
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Right.
Which hopefully they get that all rectified. Which I know Todd, you saw earlier. I didn't even realize Mayans came back this week, so I got a couple episodes to catch up on this weekend. So I'm pumped about that. And it's a little selfish, I know, but I'm glad they finished the season before the writers went on strike because I've been looking forward to seeing them.
You're right, yeah. It's not selfish. That's
Did you tell him about jury duty?
What happened to jury duty?
No, there's this show, and have you watched it?
I haven't watched it, but I've seen commercials for it where there's one guy who
Yeah.
thinks he's just in for normal jury duty, and all the other 11 in the jury are all actors.
yes.
And
Huh.
so the whole court is an act.
It's so fun.
He
It's
doesn't know, so
so
it's Truman
fun.
Show style. It's like
I
the
have not
Truman
seen
Show.
that.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
I've seen that.
This
It was
poor
like
guy-
on TBS or something like
It's not like
No.
on freeform.
Freeform.
It's
Yeah.
Freeform.
Yeah. But so he answers this ad on Craigslist. There's like 4,000 people that apply. And the ad was like, would you be interested in participating in like this documentary style thing that kind of like shows what jury duty is like? So he gets the role. Well, everybody in the jury, the judge, the attorneys, the case, everything, actors,
And then
and they make things that James Marsden is in it.
Yeah.
And he's one of the
he's
jurors.
One of the main jurors. Yeah.
And so they like set him up in this hotel because they get like not quarantined, but
Well, they do.
sequestered. They get sequestered.
Yeah.
And the people on the jury, the whole thing, they make all these insane scenarios with this, with the jury, and they even like go to a restaurant. Everybody in the restaurant is an actor, and they do these insane like things. And this guy's just put in these awkward positions that are just, it's very funny. It
really comes down, it's Truman Show. It's Truman Show.
Yeah, that's what he says at the end.
He didn't know he was part of it until the end, and then they had permission to,
But do they do pranks like every week on somebody different, or is it just one show?
No, it's a whole like 8
It's a whole season or whatever. Okay.
It's like a 3-week trial. It's a 3-week trial. Yeah, and it's a civil trial, so it's not like
criminal or anything. Yeah.
So it shows them like taking them to like the different places or whatever on like letting the jury just see the places at the
oh my! I mean, it's ridiculous.
It is, but it's so freaking hilarious though. It's so funny.
And to answer Shark, I don't know if they cook the hot dogs. I have the recipe. Like, he gave me the printed recipe, but I haven't like looked close at it yet, so I don't know the specifics as of this moment. But yeah, I mean that would make sense though, because you smell hot dog, even though
right.
Dog water.
It's making me wanting to have a hot dog.
I know.
Mallory's
it did
hot
the same
dog.
to us. After we drank his beer, we went and got hot dogs because the whole thing was at a ballpark. So we had hot dogs after, and we were like, oh yeah, this is perfect.
Motel Hell, was that the name of this show with the people cooking, making people?
Oh, might have been.
The 73 Selenium Green trial has a character artist famous line Selenium Green. It's people. We set 2022. Oh,
I was going to say,
interesting. Yeah.
When I looked it up, that's what came up was that one.
I tell Todd because Todd is Shadow know, but maybe it's Skyline Chili. I'm just saying.
I do not like Skyline.
It's very possible. It's very possible.
If you can lose people, you can lose them in Chili. Pizza Hut once hired screenwriter Jingle for them to make it with the song "Where Did the Cheese Go," which was eventually rejected after numerous requests for revisions. Well, Pizza Hut and Domino's, I talked about this before for one of my shows I like to watch, Food That Built America. They were the driving factor for pizza in the country. So, hard to believe.
That was just on. Wasn't that one just on?
It might have been. I haven't watched it in a little bit of time, but usually like on the weekends they run marathons and I try to catch some episodes in.
Oh, that's what it was. I saw it last weekend and there was a bunch of them on. And I just read part of it. Like, I think that was the next one coming on, and I think it was that one.
Yeah.
It's
a good show.
I'm gonna have to step out for just a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good history of food. If you like food that built America.
That show is good.
Yeah. I don't even think that one guy like Adam Rich doesn't even have to eat anymore. He just comes on there and commentates and talks about stuff. So.
Oh, is he the one? What? Some about Adam. Adam ruins everything.
Well, no, the early seasons, he was man versus food. He was man versus food the early seasons.
Oh, yeah.
Until his doctor's like, you can't do this anymore.
He's like, no, you got to stop or you're going to die.
Then they got another guy to do it now. So.
And he got big too, so I don't even know if it's on anymore. They're like, no, we just need to stop this. We're just killing people.
I mean, people do it to themselves every day.
Yeah.
Sign up for 2 years, be famous, and then die. Who wants this?
Have enough to pay for your
I'm going to take on this 5-pound Sunday. I just have to eat it within 15 minutes. Good luck. Yeah. 3-pound steak. You got to finish it all with the potatoes. Yeah. But he's a good personality on it and stuff. But yeah, the Food That Built America is definitely pretty interesting. Just seeing again all the food wars and all the stuff that happened, and food is just cutthroat. You know, just like any other business, people really get after it. I think of all the foods, probably the candy ones were probably like some of the worst ones. They really got after it. Yeah.
Hazel, shut up.
Is your daughter coming home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Dog get a little excited.
Always the littlest one that's the most yappiest.
Yeah. The Napoleon complex.
For sure. Yes, for sure.
Oh, I know you guys. I don't know if you guys saw the commercial or not, but you guys might like to see it because you guys are dog owners. I actually want to see it because I think it's going to be pretty funny. But the movie Stray's coming out, where they're doing the dog voices with Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx, and
Yes.
yeah, the trailer looks pretty good for it. Yeah.
When is that actually coming out? Do you know?
I don't remember what the date was. I just knew it was saw where the trailer had it coming out soon.
That looks funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, for upstairs.
Which is good to hear that Jamie Foxx is actually okay because
Mm-hmm.
all stuff. I guess he had a stroke or something. So yeah. And now he's actually
He's
back
not
up
good,
and
though, I
going.
don't think.
Yeah. Like, dude, that would be like another young person. I say young person, he's old as I am, but another person
Yeah, it's
that
crazy.
going before their time.
For sure.
It's crazy
For
how
sure.
our definition of young and old changes as we get older.
Right.
Yeah. Well, now it's like Tina Turner died, right? Like 83. And it was like
Yeah.
everybody's just been like putting the Tina Turner stuff up. And it's just like, I mean, 83, I mean,
That's a good life.
that's a good life, but it's just
Yeah.
like, but she was an icon and she was like, you know, one of
No, but it's hard to think.
growing up
Like
watching.
you don't think of her being like 83 years old. Like when I
Yeah.
saw, I was like, damn, was she really? I was like, I guess she was.
The last time we saw her, she probably wasn't. It probably hasn't been that long, and she sure in the hell didn't look her age. So
No. Yeah, then you start thinking about your age. Like, where am I now? Like, you know,
I try
yeah.
not to
You're
think about
right.
that stuff.
You see some of these people that are actually like dying and stuff, and it's just like, well, what's it called? Can't remember the guy's name, which is bad on my part, but he was like in Rome on HBO, and then he was in, I think he was in a couple of Star Wars movies, maybe, and some other stuff, but he just died. He was 59 years old.
Jeez.
Trying to think of the actor that just died.
What he died of? Do you know?
I didn't see what he died of as of yet.
Shoot, I popped in on the wrong show apparently. Let me
Yeah,
go.
it took a dark turn.
I'm trying to think who the actor was that just
I've
died.
been waiting for 2 minutes and you guys are talking about
Exactly.
death all over. What the heck?
But I'm trying. I know you're talking about. I can't think of who it is, Rod.
He was really good in Rome. And somebody might know in the chat as well because it's been like on the different news and stuff. Ray Stevenson. So he was 58.
Jesus.
And it's just like he was in Thor. He was Punisher Warzone. But it's just like it makes you think sometimes because you never know, right? Like you gotta
We don't.
prepare for your
Can't
stuff.
spend the small stuff.
Yeah.
So, Chu has had a running gag with my father for a while because my dad will tell these stories about when he was young, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we did this and we did that," and then that guy's dead now, and every story he tells ends in that guy's dead now, and I'm like. So Chu finds it really funny. He's like, for God's sake, don't ever tell a story about me because I don't know what's
Yeah.
going to happen.
He'll be like Bruce Willis, like, wait a minute, I'm not alive right now.
Well, my father didn't hang with the best crowd in his youth, to be fair. And honestly, there's a fairly good reason for a lot of them not being around today. Understandable.
How old is your dad?
He is, let's see, he's going to turn he's turning 70 in June.
Okay.
But yeah, the crowd, because he was in with the Greasers, and yeah, He had hair down to his waist. He was
Leather,
riding
he had the
motorcycles
leather
and hot
jacket and the
rods.
jeans. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he had the great big belt buckle and did.
Did he have the cigarette pack on his
pack.
shoulder?
That's
Did
what
he
I
put
was
the
just gonna say.
cigarette
Right? I
pack
was
on
like,
the
did he roll
shoulder?
cigarettes up in the
He did not, but the friends he hung with did. He chose his pockets for that, but yes, he was not with the best crowd, to be fair, in his youth, and a lot of them are no longer with us
Is anybody seeing
for
like thinking
several
of?
reasons.
I never seen Mal's dad, but in my mind, I'm thinking of like Grease, like
No, man. But I thought it was
Grease
the
was,
outsiders, the greasers and it was the outsiders.
I was thinking,
Yeah.
or the other one, was Sylvester Stallone, The Lords of Flatbush. So for those that remember that movie, I kind of think her dad, like being in that, with Sylvester Stallone and Henry Winkler and all them. Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know if I've already told this story. My father actually created an urban legend in our area.
Really?
He did. And to this day, if you go to the town of Leaf River in Illinois and you ask about the aliens, people know about the UFO that stopped by Leaf River in Illinois.
Yeah.
So my father and about 6 of his friends were in his big old station wagon at the time. And they went to a pub in Leaf River, and they, of course, got way too drunk. They must have been about 19 at the time because there wasn't the drinking age of 21 at the time.
That's probably when it was
They,
18 back then. Yeah.
yeah, they may have had a little bit too much, and they were driving home, and they came across some road construction on Highway 72 here. And the road construction that was happening, they had those, they're about 6 feet long, and it's 3 bars of orange and yellow with the 2 lights on either side.
Mhm.
Those big barricade things, right? So they saw some of those laying on the side of the road, and they stopped the car, and they put about, I'd say, 8 or 9 of those in the station wagon with them.
Because that's what
And
you
they
did.
went off driving. So all of these are blinking super bright. It's like lighting up the sides of the street as they're driving. And they drive up to the creek just north of the town of Leaf River. And there's where the creek comes down, it has kind of a little roundabout thing that happens before it continues on its path. And because of that, that's been dug out pretty deep where the water kind of circles before it moves on. So there's a really deep part of the creek just above the town. And they tossed all of these into the creek. And that must have been about 30 feet deep, and it's a muddy little creek. They then proceeded to go back to the pub and tell everybody that they just saw a UFO land just north of town. And the people there were like, "Oh, you're full of crap. We're not listening to you, whatever." And he's like, "You come with us, you'll see." So they got about, I'd say, 10 people to follow them up to the creek just north of town. And everyone was like looking down, and they could see the lights blinking down at the bottom of the creek. And one guy was like, "Oh, I'm going in there. There's nothing down there." And Dad's like, "It could be radioactive. You don't know." And so, of course, the guy didn't go in because he was scared of radioactivity. For the next, I'd say about 5 or 6 weeks, they were going to the pubs in this town and other towns around there and convincing people to come out and take a look at the creek where these lights were still blinking, because apparently those lights will go on for
They'll
really
last for a
long
while.
time.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
will
strong
last for a
battery.
while.
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
deep
yeah.
underwater, they lasted for quite a while. But they kept bringing people out to see these lights blinking at the bottom of the creek, saying that they saw the UFO land in the creek.
oh my God.
To this day, and this has been approximately 50 years, to this day, if you go to Leaf River and you ask about the UFO, people will still talk about the UFO that landed in the creek just north of town. So, yeah, my father and his drunk buddies definitely started an urban legend in our area. Just throwing that out there because it's ridiculous and stupid and fun.
But yet it's awesome though.
Oh, yeah. And they should not have been doing any of the things that they were doing that evening. But yeah, there is still an urban legend because of my father being drunk and stupid with his friends.
That is pretty funny.
How did this
Indeed.
story start?
For sure.
Your dad was definitely a little rambunctious, I would say, right?
Well, no one expected him to live past 30, and I was born when he was 30, so yeah. He was not expected to exist that long because he was into some crazy stuff. And even after I was born, he was still into some crazy stuff. But yeah, he's made it all the way to 70 now, so he proved them all wrong. Not that they're here to tell him that, but you know.
he was like, yeah, hold my beer, right? Like,
Oh yeah, that was my father. Actually, oh my gosh, when he took me to, we did a road trip out to Yellowstone, and we got to Yellowstone. It was June 10th in Yellowstone Park. We were at the mud pots, and it started to snow, and it started to snow hard, and it was like the roads were all covered, half the roads were blocked, and my dad was like, "All right, we're getting out of here. Hold my beer." And he didn't have a beer for me to hold, obviously, because I was underage, but he was just saying, "No, hold my beer. I got this." And he drove us out of that damn park. And it's very mountainous and scary driving in Yellowstone when it's all snow, by the way. But yeah, he got us out of there. It was
That's
a little
hilarious.
frightening, but we survived it.
Well,
So
see, and this is the fun of having Mallory on the channel. So now we have Mallory's story time
Go.
that you definitely.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm happy to share story times there. I have a lot of ridiculous stories from my father's youth.
That's good stuff right there.
Oh yeah. So the start of an urban legend, ladies and gentlemen. That's how most of these start. You know, the Bunny Man and the Jersey Devil and all the different ones. Yeah. Yeah. It's usually somebody
Jersey
effing
Devil,
around being drunk and stupid.
I grew up with the Jersey Devil, so I'm just saying.
Okay.
You know,
But do you believe in the Jersey Devil?
out in the Jersey woods poking?
Do you truly believe that there are little hoof prints? There are little hoof prints going across a lawn and then up on a roof and then down.
It's kind of like Bigfoot. You don't want to say you don't, just in case it happens to show up, right? Like, I heard you thought I was fake, you know. So I can remember when we were like in school. We were in school. They would show like films on stuff, and one of the films they would show like the Jersey Devil, like studying the Jersey Devil, and people going out like a Blair Witch type project back in like the 80s, and they would hear noises and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. So people in Jersey are kind of like,
make you think.
Don't want to say I do, but I don't want to say I don't either.
I am gonna leave good company, but God, you just gave me my new tagline.
Wait, where did you find good company?
I'm going to bed.
No, where did you find good company? I don't see.
Right here.
It's talking about YouTube, by the way.
I prefer Bad Company myself, but you know, Bad Company, yeah.
You're making me forget because I'm gonna write it down because that's gonna be my new tagline. I heard you thought I was it fake or
she done forgot,
or I heard you didn't think I was real.
Talking to me, you talking to Mal? Talking Jersey Devil?
What the Jersey Devil would say. I heard you thought I was fake.
I say a lot of shit. I don't.
You just said that if he came to you, he, she, whatever.
I heard what you said about me.
The Jersey Devil or the Bigfoot came to you, and he would say, "I heard you thought I was." Well, now it doesn't. I mean, I heard you thought.
So, I heard it through the grapevine.
Guys, just take a second and picture Shannon walking into his Starbucks, ordering her drink and going, "I heard you thought I was fake," and the person behind her going,
"It won't be a Starbucks, though."
What? I just want to see that moment. I want that on camera.
We're going to go see a band tomorrow night, and that's why I'm going to be. I heard you thought I was fake. But here I am.
Proving you all wrong.
Good night, little ones.
Good night.
Shannon. That's funny.
I'm gonna go work on that.
I go to a coffee shop or a McDonald's or something. I heard you thought I was fake.
Presentation.
They're like,
presentation of it.
I heard you thought I was fake. I heard you thought I was
She's practicing. She's practicing.
In the mirror going, yes, doing her hand motions and everything.
Working on her enunciation.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
All right,
I
JT, have a
100%
great
want this
weekend,
on
my
camera.
friend. Yeah. But yeah, that's funny. Night shark. Yeah, so she cracks me up every time. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so one of the things
100%.
was, well, it's funny, she left, but I was going to say before she left, so this weekend is kind of like Memorial Day weekend, which, speaking of Memorial Day, I get to a point. So there's a point when you go through stuff on YouTube channels where you have to reinvent, you do kind of things, blah, 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 kind of move forward. Now you probably know this from stuff you're doing, but I've studied stuff and I'm thinking of a change. So it might be a change taking place here to the show, to the format, to the different things. I'm kind of debating it right now. And it's happened to be right for Memorial Day weekend because then obviously Memorial Day weekend, you kind of, people go out and they go to barbecue and picnic and stuff, but you're technically supposed to mourn people that have been lost and stuff as well, right? So this might be the last Toss One Back Thursday show in the current Toss One Back Thursday status.
Okay.
Not getting rid of the Thursday thing, but Todd has been a part of this for a while. So we used to have a show years ago before Toss One Back Thursday under a different name, under a different format. We'd have stuff. So I think coming back in June, I'm working on some different things. Still will be live next Thursday, but it's going to be under a different thing. I think this will be the last Toss One Back Thursday format for this one. Okay. So there'll be an update taking place. I just feel like it's time.
Are you cutting the outright?
Am I getting fired for something I don't get paid for?
How'd you get fired on your day off?
Are you gonna Milton me like Office Space? No. We fixed the glitch. No.
Like, I've been doing this together for a long time, but next month it's totally changed. It's all good.
No, so
I'm hearing Shu shouting a lot downstairs. He's shouting a lot because he doesn't know what's happening.
I feel like there's other opportunities with the show to do some different things, but Toss One Back Thursday had a nice run, had a nice little thing, but it'll still be a same type of format, but it'll be like a title change. There'll be some different stuff to try to bring here, a little bit more of a maybe happy hour type atmosphere, so to speak. So, obviously you two are still a part of it. I know you won't be here next Thursday, Mal, but
yeah, next Thursday is my last one that I'm unavailable. After that, I'm available always.
Yeah, no, I don't want it too quick because I've studied stuff and I've done this long enough that I've been on stuff. And Todd, you remember the days when we'd have with the Hangouts, I think it was like 5 or 6, but you could take up to 10 with stream, and it would just get too crazy for stuff. So I don't want it to be like that kind of thing, but I just kind of want to make it a little bit of a switch up on some things and have some more fun, draw on some stuff. I mean, we have a great time when we do stuff now, but I'm going to kind of introduce some new things. So it just happened to be Memorial Day weekend, and I'm like, what a good weekend to say farewell to this one. And then we'll bring the new format in with some new stuff coming in June. So just to be aware, next week when you see the new post, it'll probably be something a little bit different. It's going to be a new title. It's going to be some new stuff I'm going to try to work on since I have an extra day with the 3-day weekend to try to bring on here and have some fun and just putting that out there. So new things on the horizon.
Sorry, to be Shannon, I have 2 questions. First, do I still get to hang out with you guys? Because I want to hang out with you guys, and I love you. So,
Sure.
Okay, cool. I love hearing that. Second, do I have to drink less?
No. You will never be told drink less. No.
Yeah, wait.
So those are my only 2 concerns. Otherwise, I'm all happy.
Actually, you probably should drink more, I think is what I'm hearing.
Oh,
yeah.
Shoot, I can't
it'll be some different stuff on there. It'll be some different things to introduce. As far as, the channel itself is a beer channel. But there's people that like to come in and do stuff maybe besides beer and stuff. So maybe it'll be beer, maybe it'll be cocktails, maybe it'll be wine,
Oh, that's
It'll be
fun.
not just limited. It'll be different things. It'll be more of an open type atmosphere of what you actually want to drink or partake
So now
in.
you're right up her alley. Is what
Yeah.
you're-
And it might be some things where we talk about food pairings or enjoying some other things. And it'll just be kind of more of a different thing. And the one thing I'm going through with the channel right now is I love doing the beer reviews and sharing the beer, different stuff there on that things. But I also love, as I found, doing a lot of the beer news pieces that I've done recently. So it's going to be still beer oriented for the main focus of the channel, but the live streams might be just a little bit different with stuff to introduce and stuff too. And to also
Keep it spicy.
allow more opportunity for things and stuff.
I realized I have one more question. Is it still going to be that guy like holding out the 6-pack going, I got beer? Is he still
It'll
gonna
probably
there?
be a new background that I'll actually design.
I'm going to miss
as
that
well.
guy.
Yeah. Well, that was Isaac Hayes. I mean, everybody knows
Can
Isaac
we,
Hayes. I
can
mean,
we take a second and raise a toast to that guy? Because
I
he's
mean,
like
Should we
he's
pour
been our
one
guy.
out? Just pour some out for him. Just,
Like
you know.
he's our guy, and I just want to raise a toast to our guy because he offers me beer every week, and I love him.
Shane still likes to glitch when he looks like he was, doing
Yeah.
count.
oh, when I had the other one there, yeah. So it's kind of like, do I have that here? Let me take a look. If I had that one there. Obviously, Isaac Hayes is the great entertainer that gave us Shaft as well, did the Shaft soundtrack. So
I'll tell you,
He is-
when he
he'll always
shakes
be the
that
Duke
6-pack,
in
I'm
this.
just like, oh yeah, I'm right there every time.
Let's see. I don't have it for that one there, but where is this here? Because we had the old background that we had, and we had him holding the beer. If I can get it pulled up here. All right, where are you? Where are you?
You know, Todd, I know you're looking down, but it looks like your eyes are closed. Oh, there they are.
No, I'm
I
looking
saw
at my phone.
I saw
Yeah.
him.
So here was like the old one when. Oh, wait a minute here. Like in the back. I gotta go to see if I can get to the side here. See if I can pull it. Can I pull it down there too? Oh, well, let me do that side. I'm trying to figure it out. See. I'm messing with the screens and I'm trying to get it.
Now, to be fair, some people think my eyes are closed when I'm even wide awake. Just looking at them.
Chew has the same problem.
Because my eyelids are like barely, they're not.
Yeah.
Shannon makes fun of me all the time. She's like, open your eyes wide, as wide as you can. I'm like, I ain't playing your games. I'm not playing
It's
your
funny. Chew has
There we go.
exactly the same problem. He has the hooded lids, and yep, it looks like his eyes are closed half the time.
games.
There we go. So there it is. What I holding the beer. So that's yeah. So this will probably be the last Toss One Back Thursday in title.
Oh,
But
well,
then
I'm happy we get this little moment to appreciate what we had.
yeah.
I guess it's Memorial Day. I shouldn't be using that song for this.
I
Huh?
get it.
Well.
Right. That's probably one of my.
I'm probably
Sorry.
like insulting someone, and I'm not trying to insult
Right,
anyone.
right, exactly. Yeah.
It saw someone on my channel. I don't know if that can even happen.
That's
Yeah,
never happened before. It's
Yeah.
never happened.
but it's good. It'll be like I said. It'll be something new, and we'll see where we go from there. You've got to mix it up at times. I think so.
That is
Gotta
true.
keep it fresh.
That is true.
Yeah. And on the good side, it wasn't like it was a Bud Light type thing. We're just making a change.
You're going out on your own terms and changing it.
Right? Yeah, we're just mixing it up a little bit, so it'll be all good. So Ike will be going away to the caddy, and I'm gonna update some stuff this weekend. But I think people will like it, and we'll have more on as far as I'm debating because we may have a couple more people that might come up and might
I know
rotate
who
a few
it
people
should
through.
be. Isaac. It should be the kid from the Jimmy Kimmel and
Oh God.
Jimmy Kimmel show.
I know he's probably old enough to drink now. We need to talk
Yeah,
to him.
probably is. But that'd be so good. Like if you could find something for him, just like
Yeah,
put up there in the corner instead.
yeah, he's probably like 30 or something now. I think.
Yeah, he's old enough to drink for sure.
Or the Man Show. I guess it's just the Man Show, not Jimmy Kimmel.
Man
Well, I
Show.
mean Jimmy Kimmel was part of it. But.
Yeah. Speaking of podcasts, which you weren't speaking of podcasts, but speaking of podcasts,
Great
we are
segue.
now.
That was super smooth.
for those of you that like podcasts, I'm going to say check out my buddy Art's podcast, The Art of Fatherhood. He just had Vincent D'Onofrio on there, which like fucking blew my mind. If you know who Vincent D'Onofrio is, you know him from a lot of roles. He's played Kingpin on Daredevil. He played the guy that went off of Full Metal Jacket. He's played Man in Black. He was like the insecticide dude. Just tons of roles and just
Oh
like
yeah. I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
he interviewed him, and I just gave it to my friend, Art, that interview, because I would have been totally like geeked out by some of the stuff he did. Which Art did have his geek moments when he's actually talking to him, and he was just talking about the whole Kingpin role and the different things. And our fatherhood is about him being a father. That he interviews various celebrities, like how it is raising their kids and all kind of stuff. They kind of talk about that, but they get other stuff. But he's had a lot of different people now where he's getting celebrities on there. And the Vincent D'Onofrio interview, I mean, I was a fan of his already. I'm just more of a fan now, just the stuff that he came on there and talked about. So, but I was like, dude, I'm like 2 degrees to Vincent D'Onofrio now. I'm like pretty pumped, like, forget the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I'm 2 degrees away from that guy. He's freaking awesome. So yeah, but I gotta give him props. I've been like pretty much geeking out of him having him on there over the last like week or so. But Art of Fatherhood, great podcast, especially if you're a dad. Some great stuff that he has on there as far as some of the guests and stuff. So just give him a shout out there. But no, new stuff, new things, good things. As I look to get stuff in, and I like to maybe work in and get some of the other people in, maybe that may join us. That might be a chance to get some of the brewery type people in and stuff like that, where you guys have a chance to ask questions as well. Instead of me just doing the one-on-one stuff. I have a few things that are out there with a few things right now happening. To maybe have one of them pop on for a bit where they could share some of their stuff, and should be good. It should be good. So
Sounds cool. So
yeah,
Love it.
very interesting for sure.
yeah. Chew was like, no, say it ain't so wrong. Dating show called Thirsty Thursday.
Gio, what are you looking for a dating show for? You have a wife. What are you doing?
Thirsty Thursdays. Oh.
I hear him laughing like a maniac downstairs.
Speaking of a weird situation, not that was a weird situation, but
all situations are weird.
it made me think of my head. So there was a piece I saw on the news before we get out of here. OnlyFans. There was like a woman that had been doing an OnlyFans page. She found out her biggest subscriber was her stepdad.
Oh,
Who had been supported. And so I guess she did a TikTok video, whatever, like pretty much where she had her mom on the phone and was confronting him about being on there. And it was just like, that's a weird type thing. But then
wow,
it's
that's uncomfortable on several levels.
yeah. I mean,
that's not going to be on Hallmark anytime soon.
No. And I guess he was trying to, say he was trying to support her or whatever like that and everything. But it's
They're
just
going to call it Christmas Princess on
But then-
Hallmark Channel.
Possibly, yeah. Well, there you go. We'll
That's what they're going to call it.
But then it's like, if you put it out in public, I mean, It's kind of like
No, you've
it's
chosen
as weird as
your
it
own
is.
routes,
You may have
and
that situation happen,
but you don't
true,
get to pick
true.
who watches your stuff. That's
Yeah,
kind of an obvious thing for putting yourself out there. You don't
yeah.
get to pick who watches what you do.
But
So,
as I was reading through the piece, I was looking for the one line where he says, "Well, I was trying to keep it in the family, but it was never in."
oh my goodness, Rod, come on.
You always hear that joke, "keeping it in the family." I
Yeah.
figured he would have said that at some point in the article, but it didn't show that happening. So
Total fit.
Oh,
And
Total
then I'm
fit.
like, well, he's
yeah.
totally
He
being
missed an
supportive,
excellent opportunity.
right? So yeah, that was a weird thing. So when you go in, like for me, I use Edge as a browser, and so when I pull up stuff, it gives like news stories like that are taking place, and that was like one of the first ones I was like, that is kind of weird. One, I don't know why you popped it up on my thing, but then two, I don't know why I want to read it, but I did.
Well, it's kind of like you just can't turn away. You just got
It's like a car crash, or like you're stuck in bumper to bumper for an hour.
Like you
get
shouldn't
up to
watch.
the front, and you're like, oh, there's a thing
Yeah.
to look at.
You're right. It's like
Yeah.
I know I shouldn't watch, but I can't turn away.
and then you're like, is AI like trying to dig into stuff that I like? What's going on here? Like, it's kind of like the Matrix, like when she tells Neo like ahead of time about him knocking the glass off the table, and he's like, "What?" And he knocks the glass off the table. Like, was that because you told me that, or was that because I was doing it anyway? It's kind of like I don't know where I'm at right now. So, which the whole AI thing in itself is going to be kind of crazy. I mean, maybe Terminator wasn't a story. Maybe Terminator was a cautious tale. Like, hey, trying to give you guys a hint. Don't do the AI thing because this is what happens.
Did you see Minority Report with Tom Cruise?
I did.
So that thing where you walk into the mall and it scans your eyes, and when it scans your eyes, it like puts up the ads that you expect to see.
Yeah.
I mean, we primarily already have that with the phones. It's like ridiculous. So
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. You never know.
I go back thinking Brave New World. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll
Well,
see what
I
happens.
mean, Florida's already doing the book burnings. They've got us. They're ahead of us on that one.
Fahrenheit, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Like seriously, like real, like yeah. Florida just one person complained and they banned the Amanda Gorman poem. I'm like, seriously, like.
well, okay.
I don't get surprised anymore because it's Florida, so I'm just like, it's Florida.
I used to work as a children's lead with Barnes & Noble. We had a book called And Tango Makes Three. And it was about a real life story about these penguins, penguin parents. And it was like they were both male, but both their babies died, and they brought in another egg. And these two male penguins took care of the egg, and it was this thing. So they made a picture book about it for children. So, it's worded for, from 3 to 7 year old kids, right? That's one of the books they banned down in Florida, was that these two male penguins happened to take care of a baby together, because it was two male penguins taking care of a baby. And it was like, this actually happened at a zoo. This is a thing that happened to take care of this baby whose parents had died. These two male penguins wanted to take care of a baby. Here you go. And they did. But oh my gosh, like when I saw And Tango Makes Three was on the list of banned books, I was very upset about it, because when I was a children's lead at Barnes & Noble, I read that for story time. Like it was a cute book. It was real penguins doing a real thing. Like, chill out, people. Relax. It's fine. The baby lived. Everything's okay. Like,
No one still explained to me how they look at the Noah's Ark picture of the two animals, and no one ever's going to. You got two male lions.
Yeah.
No one's going to point that out.
They both have the mane.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you sure? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's because they never had no unicorns.
Yeah. Cheers, Big Daddy, as well, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of crazy right now with some of the stuff that you're seeing there that we're seeing there is just like, I don't know. You can't explain it on some levels. It's just like, here we are where we're at, and I don't
For
know.
those folks who haven't bought a picture book, please buy Entangle Mix 3 because it's a great book. It was cute as heck, and
Yeah.
it's a real story. It's actually real.
I mean, I feel like we grew up as kids watching Bugs Bunny, and Bugs Bunny was like the first crossdresser.
Yeah.
You know, when he would don the woman outfit to try to trick Elmer Fudd. So
Well, the first crossdresser in animation, perhaps.
yeah,
Not
man.
the first crossdresser in general, because
Well,
I
on
think you
TV,
think about
really,
Greeks,
I don't
Romans,
think
and Mesopotamians for that, but
no, but on TV, I think Bugs Bunny was probably the first one, regardless, even if it was animation. I don't think there was anybody before that point. Because remember, back then,
no,
you
they were
used to have
comedians. And Shakespeare, all of the plays, the women were played by men.
yeah, they were all
So
played by
it
men
was
there. Yeah.
there was a lot of cross dressing in theater before.
Nah, yeah, no, you had that, but it wasn't on TV. Is what the thing was. Like for America, for people
That's
to
true.
see something like that, it just wasn't on TV. Like you said,
Shakespeare really
Dick
missed
Van Dyke.
that mark.
You had the Dick Van Dyke show where Dick Van Dyke couldn't even sleep in the same bed with his wife. He had the two beds separate. It was
Yeah.
like, you're married, but you couldn't show it on TV with them being in the same bed. So it is what it is.
Elvis, for the longest time, you couldn't even watch Elvis from the waist down because
You couldn't. You could.
When
Yeah,
it
when he
was
when he
true.
when he
American
went on
Bandstand or whatever
Ed
it was.
Sullivan's show, they wouldn't show him on there, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. But America in itself has always been more conservative, more center right as a whole.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising it takes a while for some of this stuff to happen. But
Well, we were started by the Puritans. I mean, they didn't even believe in Christmas, for goodness sakes, because presents are evil. So we
yeah.
had a Puritan thing going to start. So, well,
Wait.
I mean, actually, no, to start, we had people who barely wore clothes at all, to be entirely honest, if we're going further back. But
you look at holidays. I mean, holidays, as far as what we have now, we're all from pagan stuff. So it's kind of like, yeah. But
because Easter eggs have nothing to do with the crucifixion of Jesus and whatnot. Yeah.
still trying to figure out how Cadbury fits into the whole mix. But who doesn't like Cadbury? It's a
They
damn
are
Peeps.
tasty and available at that time. Therefore, ta-da!
I feel like
it's all about the Benjamins, baby.
the Peeps were done in the image of Judas. That's all I'm saying. Because nobody wants the Peeps. Nobody wants Peeps, but the Peeps are
I
still
never
there.
saw Judas looking like that, though. I mean, he wasn't that yellow.
Well, no, he didn't look
jaundiced.
like that. It's just the taste and the quality of it. It's like the
Didn't
worst.
want 'em.
It's
Didn't want
the
'em.
worst candy.
Just get it. Yeah.
Did you ever do Peeps jousting?
No, I stayed away from Peeps in general.
No, Peeps jousting. You don't eat them.
Yeah.
So you take two Peeps and you give them each a javelin, which is a toothpick, of course. And you have it poking out of the front. And you put them facing each other in the microwave. And then you put the microwave for 15 seconds and they expand. And as they expand, the jousting points go towards each other and one of them will get popped. And it's Peeps jousting.
Okay.
So they joust
I've
each
never
other.
heard of
And it's Peeps
Now I'm
jousting.
intrigued, though.
They will pop each other. One of them will pop the other one.
And so you
and
should
it's
do that,
stupid.
and then the loser has to chug a beer. That would be a
there
fun
we
game.
go.
Oh, there
Peeps
you go.
jousting for beers.
That-
Yes.
That would be a fun game to do.
Segue into the new show next Thursday is Peep Jousting, Chug a Beer.
But no, Peeps jousting is quite fun. I do highly recommend it if you ever get a chance. If someone shows up at your house and drops off a box of Peeps,
Yes.
there you go. You put them in the
Chance
microwave facing each other with a toothpick sticking out facing, and one of them will pop the other one first. And yeah.
Yeah.
Shane
Maybe
said don't
next-
do that because that title would get a lot of unwanted traffic.
Peeps jousting?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe next week I'll share my alcohol gum. I got to make some alcohol gummies again. Have you got vodka gummies?
No.
Take the gummies, you put the vodka in, put them in the fridge for a week. Oh,
Yep.
yeah. And the gummies
Oh,
expand and they hold.
Well,
they
up
hold
like,
it.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
well, big
Okay,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I just drank the vodka after the gummies sat in there for a while, so I didn't eat the gummies though.
You eat the gummies. You put them in the
Yeah,
fridge for a
I
week,
did that.
and then it's like, you're working and people think you're having gummy bears. But ha ha ha.
Looks on you.
There's a reason I can deal with you today.
You're so happy today. Why are you so happy?
I'm going back to my office and pound some gummy bears. Got to deal with your ass. So yeah.
You're like,
Secret,
Rod,
it's gummy bears.
Rod, you got any more of those gummies?
All right. Well, I think we'll go ahead and get signed off with it at 12:10 a.m. So nice little show tonight. But yeah, next week, look for some of the new updates that'll take place. I got to work on that this weekend, but it's time for a change.
Next week, but I will be
No
there
Mal next week, but
that.
Mal after that. So yeah.
because
So I
my
feel
work
like,
is
Rod,
silly. They
feel like
don't
you should
listen
have, like,
when
a
I say I'm not
sign-off.
available on Thursdays.
You guys have a sign for
Sign off for the Toss One Back Thursdays. Like,
Oh
this is
yeah, there should be like a
the
proper
end. The end is here.
the end is near. kind
I
of
don't have a
thing.
sign off for that. I mean, I just
I
have
know,
them.
but you should have.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of sang
We can make one
tops.
up
Does
for
that
you real
count?
quick.
Yeah. I'm full of
But it'll be
sweet.
back-
I
it'll
could
be
sign.
back, though,
I would
so
sign up with Sweet Caroline, but I would get a copyright.
No, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
like
don't
that
do
song.
that.
I don't like that song. That's why Chu sang it down there loud enough for me to hear. He knows I don't like that song.
It'll be all good next week. So, that being
It'll be
said,
fun as always.
as always, you're right. Yeah.
Agreed.
So, stay tuned. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. We'll go ahead and get signed off. Make sure you check out Mal and her channel, Perfectly Me Crafts. And look forward to seeing y'all all next week. Y'all have a great Memorial Day. Don't eat too much and
Be safe.
Happy
be safe
Memorial
out there.
Day.
If you do eat too much, just go ahead and get that Richard Simmons Sweat into the Oldies and work it right back off.
Or
So
get some of this and work it out that way.
well, I think that's going to add to it rather than work it off. But
Don't tell them that. Don't tell them that.
And one more time, we will sign off with Isaac, the Duke of Funk, and talk to you soon. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.